It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The shorthanded Titans fall short at Nissan Stadium Sunday, losing to the Chargers 27-20 and fall to 1-8 on the season. The Titans failed to score an offensive touchdown, but a Cody Barton pick six on the Chargers' second play of the game and a Chimere DK 67-yard punt return for a touchdown in the first quarter were the highlights in the game. The Titans now head into the bye week. Sunday Night Football, the Seahawks dominated the Commanders 38-14, but Washington loses more than just the game as quarterback Jaden Daniels suffered a dislocated elbow and is expected to be sidelined indefinitely and possibly the rest of the season. In college football over the weekend, Tennessee takes their third loss of the year to Oklahoma in Knoxville 33-27. The Vols dropped to 23 in the AP poll. Vanderbilt takes their second loss of the season to Texas in Austin 34-31, and Vanderbilt drops to 15 in the AP poll. For the third consecutive week, an SEC head coach has been fired. Auburn has fired Hugh Freeze after a 4-5 start to the season. Freeze finishes his tenure at Auburn, going 15-19 overall. Nashville Soccer Club, after a 2-1 win Saturday in Nashville over Inter Miami, forces a Game 3 in the first round of the MLS Cup playoffs. The series heads back to Miami this Saturday, where the winner will move on. And the Los Angeles Dodgers win a classic Game 7, 5-4 in extra innings over the Toronto Blue Jays to become the first team in 25 years to repeat as World Series champions. It is the ninth title in Dodger history. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go. Kicking off a brand new week on 104.5 The Zone. Good morning. On a frigid and foggy Monday in Middle Tennessee, you are listening to Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. If your brain is feeling a bit foggy, just like the weather outside this morning, amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Chargers 27, Titans 20. Vols fall in Knoxville. Vanderbilt in Austin. There's a lot to dive into from the results over the weekend. Plus, we've got rumors, we've got rumblings, we've got musings. Who knows? Maybe we'll even have breaking news for the NFL trade deadline pertaining to the Tennessee Titans. And as always, of course, on Mondays, our only guest is you. 615-737-1045. Justin Hawkins, our producer. Ramon Foster, the NFL vet. I'm Will Bowling. On this Monday, November the 3rd. Good morning.
Good morning, Will.
How we doing?
I'm good, man. I think so. It is foggy. I like this, especially when it's not slippery outside, too. Fog is cool. Just slow down a little bit, man.
A little bit, yeah.
Follow the guidelines and stuff like that. But happy Monday is what I would tell everybody today. We're right back at it, doing what we like to do.
We are both a lot less anxious than the last time that we saw each other.
Oh, yes, we are.
A couple of hours before what we did not realize was going to be a loss for Tennessee at home against Oklahoma. Yeah. It was very cool to see you and the Vol Network team in action for the first time.
Oh, I lit up when I saw you and Peyton, man, your fiance, on Saturday. I was like, this is my guy. He was over there behind the barrier. I was like, no, come over here with us.
It was awesome.
It was really cool. It was a good time, man. I saw so many folks I hadn't seen in a while. Man, if you're from West Tennessee or at least Covington, Ripley area, I saw one of my good friends, former teammates, Antonio Gaines, man, Covington High School Charger. It was awesome seeing him and his family, his son. I told his son, you know how it is when we telling old high school legends. It's like, your dad's the reason I don't have a state championship. And I went into the legend of what he was, man, as a football player. He was phenomenal. Probably one of the best high school football players I ever played against in my entire life. And I'm wearing my meta glasses. I'm not sure if you saw my video.
I did.
I'm walking through the concourse or whatever, man, and I'm about to go to the Vol Network set. I'm about to bend the corner. I looked right and did a double take, and I saw my high school football coach, man.
Oh, nice.
That was so cool, man. And what's crazy, I just spoken to him on Wednesday. We hadn't seen each other in years. So,
fantastic.
What a delight it was. Awesome. He called me out. He was like, no, I heard you. You just hate me. You gave me the, hey, how you doing? You didn't recognize me at first. I was like, Coach Mack. I was in that mode of trying to get to my place of destination, man. And it was a good time. The loss was one thing. The environment was phenomenal. But, man, I saw a lot of people this past weekend I was glad to see again.
You have another Coach Mack in your life?
I do. That was the first Coach Mack.
Oh, my gosh.
That was the first Coach Mack.
Didn't know there could be two of them.
He's a VFL also, man. Yeah, well, this Coach Mack is legendary to me, too.
Does he also talk about transcontinentals?
Yes, he does.
39 years in the league, just a different league.
Easily, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. He taught me the game and all my teammates the way it should be taught. My coaches, I will brag about them. Each one of them that I had at every level were coaches. They coached you. They taught you how to be better young men. They taught you the game also, man, and that's why I'm forever indebted to them. So shout out to Coach Mack.
I love it. Good stuff.
All the Coach Macks, because all of them seem to be good.
Chargers 27, Titans 20 yesterday in Nissan Stadium. Closer, but not close enough. Despite a pick six from Cody Barton and a punt return touchdown from Chimere DK, the Titans could not put the ball in the end zone. On offense, they go 1 of 9 on third down. They were nearly on the field for 10-minute difference than the Los Angeles Chargers in this game. LA, 21 first downs, the Titans 10. The Chargers ran 21 more plays than the Titans in this game. And really overall, the yards per play number, that's as close as it's been in some of these losses. 5.3 yards per play to just 4.7 yards per play for the Titans. Defense played better. Defense got after the quarterback with a who's who of offensive linemen who got hurt for the Los Angeles Chargers. But ultimately, Ramon, even though the points came in some different ways, this kind of followed the same formula that we've seen time and time again. The Titans show some good things in the first half. They'll get past the 50. They'll get around the 40-yard line, and they'll stall and either try a long field goal or punt.
Yep.
And that was the story of the day for the offense yesterday.
It kind of was, man. You mentioned the stall part of it, Will. That's the part I think that that you cannot afford is penalties that you're getting or you having the wrong guy, in my personal opinion, blocking on screen plays, and then you have defenders.
Or wildcat plays?
Wildcat plays. And it's illegal formations that are happening every single week, man. Like, we're looking at this team right now, 14 points in the first quarter. Let that resonate for a second. Like, let that settle. 14 points in the first quarter, and the offense didn't do a thing. So that was one of those, this is a bonus type of moment. And no, it was not. We said just a little bit before we came on air, it's just like it's something new or something repetitive every single week when it comes down to trying to finish and close. No, trying to actually progress in a game. There was absolutely no offensive progressiveness at all when you looked at what this past weekend was yesterday. I went to the game yesterday, actually, and just seeing it in person, it was different, but it wasn't overly bad. Like, it sucked because it's more of the same. But, like, you see 1 or 2 plays a game and you kind of say to yourself, okay, I can see it. Ball hitting the wide receiver's dead in the chest. What is up with Cam and the underthrows, though?
Footwork.
It's
footwork. He's moving around all the time because he's not able to throw from a stable and comfortable pocket or cylinder very often, is he?
It was a couple of times he had it, though.
Right.
The one across the middle.
It's inconsistency in footwork and mechanics that are bringing up mistakes in big moments, including a 3rd and long where you had Van Jefferson as open as you will ever get an NFL wide receiver.
I don't know if there was a better practice rep that you could have had right there, and he just he chucked it in the dirt right there. If it's footwork, the entire offseason needs to be dedicated to his feet, his eyes, and the position of the football, too. You remember I've brought that up time and time again. Holding the football kind of low like that for the sidearm that he throws, he hits every once in a while, that's fine. But as far as like the technique of a quarterback that's got to protect the football, he had another one slip out of his hand again from holding it low, in my personal opinion. And what I say about that is a lot of people, that's the way he holds the football. Well, until he starts having more success holding the football like that, something's got to change.
12 of 21, 145 yards. He was sacked 4 times. I think really the challenging thing about evaluating Cam yesterday, too, is that 76 of those yards came on 3 plays. Elikai Manor, Tajay Spears, and Van Jefferson all had explosives over 20 yards. I'm glad they continue to use more Tajay in the pass game. It feels to me like that is one of their best solutions for tight man coverage is just get Tajay Spears open on an angle route against a linebacker. And Deion Henley's a fine coverage linebacker, but Tajay Spears is a good receiving back, and that's a matchup problem even for good coverage linebackers. So, Tajay was your second leading receiver on 3 plays.
Yeah.
Because he had a 26-yard gain that popped a little bit, which was a good call by Bo Hardigree. But we're going to get into some of the play calling, going to get into some of the sequencing, some of the issues, and some of the reason why the Titans offense is stalling past the 50. To me, that's the story of this game, is the Titans' inability to finish drives, including in plus territory on 3 out of their first 4 drives. Their drive ends on the plus side of the 50. They finished those 3 drives at 3 points total. And then the play on the 1-yard line, where you're unable to punch it in, finish a long possession, and then LA goes 99 yards the other direction, and that was the game.
It was. I got an opinion about that play, too, the 4th and 1 situation, man. But to your point, it's normal football situations aren't as normal for this team right now. And to your point, is it going to be more of the play calling that's going to make it better next year, or structure? There's so many other questions that you have about where they are right now as a squad.
615-737-1045. Would love your thoughts. What went wrong yesterday between the Chargers and the Titans? Let us know what you think. Let us know what worried you the most out of the loss in Nissan Stadium yesterday, beginning a long month of games that are only in Nissan Stadium. 615-737-1045. Our reaction to Titans and Chargers is next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has shifted on you. Your driveway is cracked and sinking, or your porch steps, maybe they have moved. Shifting concrete can create a dangerous situation, just a trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. Shimon Foster, and whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that's provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after about 30 minutes. So don't go through that long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I trust, man. You can go to their website at ussTN.com. That's ussTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Urbana Will 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee, reacting to Titans and Chargers on the phones. 615-737-1045. On Twitter, at Ramon and Will, a poll for you to react to this morning. What is the biggest problem with the Titans offense right now? We've given you 4 options, knowing that there's probably need for more.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback, play calling / coaching. I'm putting in one answer. Offensive line or wide receivers. So far, 58% of you say play calling / coaching. Ramon, did you see anything that was glaringly wrong with the way the Titans set up the scheme and called plays yesterday?
A little bit, yeah. I'll be honest with you, a lot bit. It's just that who you're going to in these moments and also what you're asking these guys to do. We were just talking earlier. I'm looking at this, what was it, a toss, wildcat toss or whatever, that had Cam out to the right and you had Alec Ayumanner blocking Khalil Mack on the play. That's silly. That is flagrant right there. Like, I get the creativity of it, but unless that was a wildcat reverse pass to Cam or reverse pitch pass to Cam, Alex should have never been in a position to block Khalil Mack on a play that was going also to the short side of the field. So calling and executing that play was problematic for me in the moment in real time, and he also ended up getting a holding call on him too. I thought that was silly, just looking at moving Cam outside the pocket as far as him not holding onto the football and him playing quarterback. That was very situational. I mentioned earlier, too, just the back and forth of having Chimere DK block screen plays for running backs coming out of the backfield or other wide receiver screens are not okay. I didn't like it just in general, but I think the first part of it, too, is the personnel is just not good on this team, too, as a collection. I think individually these guys are probably really good athletes and, they'll be real good role players on other teams, but for a team that need them to be the main characters, it's just not good enough. I was looking for that option on the voting too, Will.
Well, and that's fair. I mean, and that seems to be the problem right now, right? The coaching staff and Bo Hardigree and Mike McCoy feel the need to go so deep into their bag of tricks to overcome what is a deficit on the field. And I don't mean on the scoreboard. I mean a talent deficit in the teams that you are playing against. That is where you look at this team, you look at the roster and say, all right, rookies are starting to not play like rookies. And I mean that in a good way. Chimere DK looks like a star in the making. Alec Ayumanner with another drop yesterday, but still doing a lot of good things. Still seems to be a good return on your 4th-round pick. Cam Ward shows you flashes. Mm-hmm. Tajay Spears has a couple of explosives. But aside from that, Ramon, there's not much you can hang your hat on offense. And that's where I think I begin to evaluate this team and what goes wrong yesterday and what's gone wrong these last couple of games. There is still nothing to fall back on when the gimmick plays aren't working. And they are gimmick plays. It's not a slight. It's not a negative to say that a flea flicker, a wildcat package, some of the eye candy stuff are gimmick plays. Everyone does it.
Well, like having 3 or 4
Kansas
games?
City has gimmick plays, but then also when the gimmick plays aren't there or don't work, like you don't always have to use them in order to pop an explosive or in order to, like yesterday, the Chargers against cover 0 or man blitzes. Justin Herbert just throws a beautiful back shoulder pass to Quentin Johnston, who beats Darrell Baker in coverage.
Bro.
That's what this offense is missing. It's the elementary, get the ball out quick stuff that allows you to have success. It allows guys to just go make a play, Ramon. So it feels like they have to try so hard, and unfortunately, in my opinion, probably too hard to confuse the defense when in reality, you might be confusing yourself because you're right. Alec Ayumanner has no business blocking Khalil Mack on a 3rd down run play, which is a sweep run to the quarterback side of the field where the quarterback is your only blocker on the boundary.
Oh, it was, like you said, it seemed to me like it was going to be a trick play. But when you look at just the squad, we mentioned this earlier in the year when we spoke about, having so many young guys that were playing for this team. You had Calvin, right? You had what you hoped to have been Cam Ward that was going to turn himself into something more than what he was. That's why I think the main characters for this team, I guess the position of just where you wanted to spotlight should have been the offensive line. And I say that because if you have those guys that can create a narrative for you of being physical, setting the tone for your team, being mean, being always there for you, like everything else would have opened up. But when you game plan for this squad in the state that it's in right now, and also I had mentioned this early in the year, and I think we had people push back on it, like Cam's still a rookie. There's no fear that he's delivering you on a week-to-week basis other than the fact that you don't know a lot about him. Teams salivate over having a game plan for rookies like this. And when you look at the guys that he's asking to help him on a Sunday, this season, nobody scares you. You mentioned like having wide receivers down the field for Justin Herbert. One, Justin Herbert scares you, right? Like you got to plan for him. You got to think about him, and then you allow him to make plays with his guys. He ended up throwing a touchdown to a fullback because I'm sure there was another focus on Keenan Allen across the other side of the field. You know, like Ladd McConkey's on his team, and he's proven in his league that he can go make plays for you. Like these are the things that you're trying to plan for, or you're trying to stop that the Titans don't have. So you sneak a pass underneath to Scott Matlock for a touchdown. We're talking about in the year of 2025 fullback scoring touchdowns. That's because that team of the Chargers got a threat over there. There's no threat right now. So when you're doing all this side-to-side gimmicky stuff, teams aren't biting on it because they got good enough players on defense to cover you up.
Titans were 1 for 9 on third down in this game. This was every play they had. And this doesn't even count the 3rd and 1 Wildcat run we're talking about because there was a holding penalty as well in that play, Ramon.
Yeah.
Which brought it back to 3rd and 11. Then J.C. Latham false started. Then it was 3rd and 16. Literally the snap of a finger, and 3rd and 1 became 3rd and 16 for this offense. The Titans' first third down was 3rd and 12. They completed a 4-yard pass to Chig. Second one was 3rd and 8, incomplete deep to Elikiah Manor. 3rd and 16 was the aforementioned holding, false start, and then a pass to Van Jefferson, who was wide open. That was incomplete. On 3rd and 17, they had a Spears run behind left guard for 10 yards to set up a field goal. That one, 3rd and 17, you got to get back into field goal range. Okay. That's maybe one of the only ones you're okay with what happened on third down.
Yeah.
3rd and 3, sack for -8. 3rd and 7 was their one completion, a 29-yard completion to Elikiah Manor. Cam Ward had time to throw, delivered a beautiful ball. Again, like Coach Mack says, transcontinental. 3rd and 1. 3rd and goal, I should say, from the 1. Wildcat snap to Pollard, stuffed. 3rd and 8, sacked. 3rd and 2, Wildcat run to Tajay Spears on the Chargers' 19-yard line. He was short. Field goal. Those are the Titans' third downs yesterday. Cam Ward was asked about the third down failures, was asked, do you think third down was a big problem for the offense today? And Cam said this.
I don't think it was a big problem. We just got to execute being on third down. We were good in some situations, some spots, but also some spots we were bad. I was bad, at times, especially early on. But it just continued to get better every day.
What's the challenge came on a lot of those third downs? It was like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, something like that. How much difficulty does that add when it's not manageable, I guess?
It really doesn't add that much difficulty, especially versus, a team like the Chargers who don't do a lot just front-wise. We kind of know what they're going to do. I think that's kind of an advantage that we can have because we know what we're going to do at the end of the day. We just have to execute. We didn't execute enough, and that's why we got the result.
Cam's kind of motivating his guys there, isn't he? He's kind of calling them out a little bit.
Yeah.
In a respectful way. He's not going out. He's not doing anything out of line. He's not, using the 2 words he did earlier in the season to describe his team.
We bad.
But he's being honest and saying, like, they didn't do anything we didn't expect. There were no surprises. We just didn't block them. We just didn't get open. I didn't complete passes in his own way of evaluating himself. Like, that's a sobering reality for this team right now.
It is. It's just become the norm.
It has. And it's not breaking news.
Right.
But it's still a sobering reality of, like, the element of surprise isn't even part of this. Like, we know what they're doing, and we can't stop it.
And I'm looking at that play you mentioned, the sack where Dayan Henley just went untouched right there. You have a defensive lineman that's occupying Zeitler and Cushenberry, and it's a key blitz, you can tell, of Dayon Henley. Okay, he's holding the ball, he was set up, I'm going through, and Zeitler never came off for it. Maybe it wasn't his responsibility, but it is one of those circumstances where it was 3rd and 3, and maybe in that moment you have the ability to go for it, because, it's 17-17 at that point, but you just create negativity after negativity plays. And not just that, too, on that 1st down and 10, Cam hit Denzel Perriman in the face, which could have also been another pick, too. It's just the continuation of those types of things. He's right. He's taking responsibility for it, but it's also, you look at what this team is, you're not allowed to do that. And I know nobody's trying to accept losing, but when you look at just the operation of how they're calling plays and how they're executing them, it's not good enough. And it's just kind of sad to trying to figure out what answers do you have in front of you. I'm looking at it right now. Cam's completion percentage on the year, will that be him? And yes, there were drops too. He's 57% still. Something's got to change when you're asking this offense, as bad as it is right now, to make something happen. 14 points yesterday from special teams and also a pick 6. The offense is supposed to be jumping ahead right now. Take your shots, be good, but except it's still full of penalties and gimmick plays that are causing you negativity.
Well, and 2, coming into this game, he had just 5 passing touchdowns. He leaves the game with 5 passing touchdowns. Coming into the game, the only number 1 overall picks in the common draft era with fewer pass touchdowns in their first 8 career starts, Terry Bradshaw, Alex Smith, and John Elway. So he's in good company.
Yeah, he is.
But it is not a lot of company. There's not a lot of quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall that have this little touchdown pass production 8 and now 9 weeks into their NFL careers. What worried you the most? What disappointed you the most? The Titans offense yesterday, 615-737-1045. Eric in Nashville leads us off.
Morning, Eric.
Hey, guys, I was at the game yesterday, and I normally don't sit there, but I got invited by a friend to sit in the club level section, so I enjoyed that.
Hey, go off, Eric.
Yeah. But here's the thing that's frustrating now, guys. With the loss yesterday, and I saw it yesterday, we've now lost 8 in a row at home, which right now is the longest losing streak in the NFL. I'm just hoping of the last 5 games, I want to see a home victory, guys, but it is what it is. But as far as the game yesterday, a couple of serious guys just really was frustrating. First of all, just the fact that we, I think, got deep inside the Chargers territory, and then we just had just all the stuff, false start, a holding penalty, and just got backed up and everything. But the real frustrating thing is when we get all the way down to the 1-yard line and we got stuffed at the 1-yard line, guys. And the frustrating thing about that, and I even got fooled, guys, and the guy sitting next to me, he got fooled. I thought Cam rolled out was just going to waltz in the end zone, but
I thought so too.
Straight run up the middle, and I thought that's what we should have done, was had him roll out to get in the end zone. And then I was telling them next to me, I said, you know what, I bet you the Chargers are going to go 99 yards to get a touchdown, which is exactly what they did. And Justin Herbert finished it off by running in the end zone, and I said, that's the ball game. We did get the field goal to make it 7, but we couldn't get the stops that we needed because it's just putting a lot of pressure on the defense when the offense can't score touchdowns, guys. It's just so frustrating. I was happy with the pick 6. Was that our first time this season that the defense has scored a touchdown like that? I couldn't remember if they had scored. That's what I thought. And the special team touchdowns we're real happy about. But the offense needs to do something, guys. Well, we'll see what happens, guys. It is what it is. Tighten up, guys. Y'all take care, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it,
Eric.
Yes, that is the first defensive touchdown of this season. It is the first defensive touchdown since December 17th, 2023, when Elijah Molden had a 44-yard pick 6 against the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Been a little bit.
It's been a while.
Also the first punt return touchdown since Darius Raynaud had 2 in one game against the Jacksonville Jaguars on December 30th, 2012. First special teams return score since A.J. Brown's kickoff return touchdown at the Indianapolis Colts November 29th, which, if you'll remember, was an onside kick returned for a touchdown back in 2020. Couple of firsts yesterday.
Another first yesterday, too. J.C. Latham with the catch. Or fumble recovery.
Fumble recovery. Yeah. At the end of the first half.
Way to be Johnny on the spot right there. That could have got ugly.
Chad is in Hendersonville up next, 615-737-1045. Hey, Chad.
Morning, Chad.
Hey, morning, y'all. As a talk radio germ myself, I just want to meet Eric at one. See, I've been doing this 25 years listening to talk radio, and I think Eric's been around at least that long. And I just have a picture in my head what Eric looks like. And after 25 years, the curiosity is definitely on a 10. Or just the hang. I'd like to hang with Eric.
Yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
He'd be a good hang.
You better catch him in the club level then.
I know. Well, I got to shoot high. But I'll tell you, the Titans are at a point right now. When you go in and you hear this, they're at a point now you got to, like, they say when you're really an underdog, they say everything's on the table, right? They got to open the playbook. You might have to pull something out of Dan Campbell's playbook where you're going for it on fourth down, although I know it's not really an offensive juggernaut, but you got to have some tricks up your sleeve. You got nothing to lose, right? And you hear that, hey, this team has nothing to lose today. Be aware. You may see some trick plays. You got nothing to lose. And everybody's at the point now where you got to start throwing some stuff out there. It can't be vanilla. Vanilla is not going to work, and I feel like they're not getting it on every. Here's my question for the morning: what box are they checking? Your thoughts, fellas?
Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Yeah.
I was going to ask him.
I'll keep
Chad, they are attempting to do something. We're going to answer your question, but I want you to ask my question. Since there's nothing to lose.
My pleasure.
And I got it. What else do you want them to do? Like, what do you want to see? Like a double pass, flea flicker? Give me something off the wall.
All the above. I want to see a fake punt.
Okay.
I want to see a fake field. I mean, fake punts. Remember Jeff Fisher? Say what you want about Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
How many fake punts in his career with the Titans did he succeed? Mm-hmm. And he had some, who says the center has to snap the ball directly back to the punter? Why not shoot that thing at a 45-degree angle and shoot it out to a wide receiver on a bubble screen out of the punt, out of a punt formation on 4th and 1? Just creativity. We've gotten so vanilla and so copycat. There's a play. Do you remember this one? Do you remember the play set called, we used to call it polecat back in the day, but you see sometimes teams in college. I'm sorry. I ran out. I thought my phone died.
That's all right, Chad.
It was called polecat. And what that was, do you know what that is?
No.
The center is at the end of the line where the center is actually eligible. You can line your offensive line up on the hash marks. They don't have to be on the center of the field. It's what teams line up when they go to kick an extra point. Before they shift, they're all eligible. Your center's eligible in that play. You see teams line up, they spread their offensive line all the way on the left side of the field before they kick the extra point. Have you seen that, right?
I've seen that,
and then they shift. Before they shift, all those players are eligible. That's been around for a long time. It was called polecat back in the day. Other teams, your center's eligible. You've got a million things that you can do.
You got everybody going now, Chad. I'm gonna look that play up.
We got to move on because I'm glad
I got that out right there. I needed to hear that one.
Thank you for the call.
And I'm super serious. I know exactly what he means. He's throwing sideways right there. Polecat. Let me look it up. Can I look that up on work?
Stop.
Being serious.
Polecat. Yes, you can look that up on work Wi-Fi.
It just sounds like a good time is all I'm saying. Polecat sounds like a phenomenal time.
We did not just play a road game against the Atlanta Falcons.
You're right.
I think that's the problem, though, to Chad's point. They did open up the playbook yesterday.
I'm with you on that.
To me, on offense, and Chad, I'm not totally disagreeing with your point, because I do think that there are elements of aggressiveness on fourth downs and in fourth and short and in taking shots down the field that I'd like to see more of. The problem is that they kind of did go into their bag of tricks. They ran Wildcat 3 times, and it yielded them 0 yards.
Yeah, it did.
And then a flea flicker that also, to your point, did nothing for it.
That flea flicker sold nobody, okay? You also have the threat. You also have to have the threat of running to kind of suck the linebackers up a little bit before throwing the flea flicker down the field. Best thing Cam did on that play was get rid of it to the sideline, too. So, it was – the attempts are there, Chad. It's just that nobody is biting on the idea that, they're tricking us again. Like Cam moved out to the outside hash. I mean, to the sideline. I think everybody's just kind of rejoiced on defense.
Well, and until you've got to be afraid of the run up the middle.
That's true.
In order to take a couple steps forward and then open up a route that goes deep on a flea flicker.
Yeah.
Right now, teams don't have to really put many guys in the box to stop the run.
Mm-hmm.
And so then a flea flicker doesn't really do much for you because guys are still sitting back waiting for the tricks.
That's it. I said they're staying home, kind of like the Oklahoma safeties did on the Vols offense this past weekend.
100%.
Nobody was biting on it at all, and that's what you're running into with this Titans offense too. Is nobody's biting on the threat that somebody's going to burn you down the field. That's where, to me, Chimere Dike should be used.
Not blocking for a screen pass.
No.
Lindsay on YouTube says, does Polecat have good wings? That's a great follow-up question.
They say the day shift is good there, too.
The buffet is nice. Coming up, there has been a trade in the NFL. You'll want to stick around during the show today because there's going to be trades probably happening throughout this morning and tomorrow morning. A team that is already rich just got a lot richer. We'll tell you next.
It's Ramon and Will for Window Nation. Will, we've been telling people they need to get their house just taken care of, man. It's cooler outside. We got fog, and I think it was in the 30s this morning. So if you don't have secure windows around your home, then that cold air is going to get in, and that also affects so many other things like your light bill, just the draft that you feel coming inside and outside of your home. But Window Nation is one of the best companies around, man. They got an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They do 50-point inspections on every window before it leaves the factory. And they do a 20-point inspection on every window when it's installed. They're thorough.
And Ramon, right now you can take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale through November. 50% off all window styles. You could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Replace your old or builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. We trust Window Nation because of the 50-point inspection you get before it leaves the factory, the 20-point inspection when it's installed. Quality service, the best products for the best deal as well. So hurry, the sale ends soon. Head online to windownation.com. Schedule a fast free estimate now with the pros at Window Nation online at windownation.com. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, wrapping up hour 1, 615-737-1045. Back to your calls in just a moment. But, Ramona, there is a trade in the NFL this morning, and a big one. Miami is trading edge rusher Jalen Phillips to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. It's the third trade the Eagles have made in the last week. They have now added corners Jair Alexander and Michael Carter, and edge rusher Jalen Phillips. Again, Philly, who had 2/3, is giving up one of them for a very talented young edge rusher in Jalen Phillips, who, Ramon, is 26 years old.
Yeah, man.
There are draft prospects who are coming into this thing 24. Jalen Phillips has 26 career sacks, just 9 games into his 5th season. Pretty good start to his career as a Miami Dolphin. 3 of those sacks have come this year. His career high 8.5 was back as a rookie in 2021.
Yeah, they're stacking up. They're in the window, going to try to stay in that window as much as they possibly can, man. They got Jalix Hunt over there on that side. They got a lot of players when it comes down to their ability to just employ defense to just go whip your face every single week. That's what they're doing right now. They're gearing up for this later in the year, stacking bodies and realizing that their defense is going to win them another championship. And it's smart. They're in the window. These are the types of things that you do, and getting after the quarterback is going to be clutch, especially when you look at some of the play of these guys right now in the NFL. This is for a team that is able to do these type of moves only. What I'm saying is this: he's young enough to where they'll extend him out and replace him with somebody else later. And that draft pick doesn't matter because they're good. Can we just say it like that? Right now, the Eagles are just good. And defensively, they're planning for the playoffs with this type of move. That third-round pick to them, they got a guy already. They'll pay him and move forward and have him for the next, 6 years.
Well, and the thing that's good for Philly is they're trading their own third.
Yeah.
The other third they have is the Jets' third,
Nuts.
which is essentially a second-round pick.
Golly.
Because it's so high in the third round. To the phones, Mike is in Nashville. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike in Nashville.
Hey guys.
Oh, hey.
guys. How
What's
you
up?
doing?
Good.
Adios later.
Hey guys. Yeah. I was just calling because I wanted to talk about obviously the Titans and Cam and what we're going through over this season. So as fans, you guys, great show. I love listening to it. I love your guys' take. And as fans, I kind of feel like every Monday morning we're always kind of like, yeah, but and it's because we, I guess, love the team, want to look at it as a glass half full type situation. But when I was on the debate team in high school and we would get ready for a debate leading up to the week, about halfway through the week, the teacher would make you debate from the other side of the argument, right? And then you would kind of see holes in your argument and all that stuff. And we're halfway through the season, just like being halfway through those weeks. And I feel like all of us, and you guys have great takes, you do talk from both sides, but I just feel like, the natural fan, the natural us wanting the Titans to be great, we're always like, yeah, Cam, but. I would love for you guys to take maybe 90 seconds and just talk from the other side of the argument. Kind of give us the tough love, because if I'm going to hear it, I want to hear it from our people, from people close to us. But 250 yards passing is the most he's had in a game. Only 40 yards rushing this far in the season. These days you got to be an athlete as well. And don't get me wrong, Cam Ward's, you look at Josh Allen. You don't have to be Michael Vick out there, but Patrick Mahomes even still uses his feet. I kind of want to hear the other side of the argument. I want to hear the hard truth from you guys.
Other side of the argument meaning being out on Cam? Is that what? I'm confused on what argument you want to hear, Mike.
Yeah. I kind of do like I said, if even if you don't believe it, just like when I used to be on the debate team.
Sure.
The teacher would make me
just to hear it.
Just to kind of to hear it, because I respect y'all's opinion so much. I think you guys really know what you're talking about. I think y'all have a great back and forth, and it's a great balance. And I think, like I said, I'm never saying you guys only talk one side. Never saying that. You guys are very good at talking both sides. But I think, obviously, whether we're talking.
I got you. I think I understand what you're saying right here on this. Yeah, we got more calls, and Mike, I kind of want to
get
to this point then. He wants to hear a reality of how, another side would view Cam and his team. Well, I think we've said it, but not like how he wants us to say it. So I'll say it and just keep you clear. Like what I would say is this. On Sundays, on Sundays, when you're playing against the Titans, you look at this situation, it's like, all right, we're probably going to roll out and just have to be okay today. Defensively, without Jeff, nobody's really getting me off my rocker. You got 6 sacks yesterday, but we still won. That's how I will look at this situation. Offensively, all we got to do is pressure Cam and just say, hey, at some point he's either going to cough it up or somebody's going to create some negativity that we don't even have to do it to them. I would also look at Cam and say this, until he shows me that he's going to be a threat down the field just for the entirety of the game, nothing you do is going to throw me off my rocker. Yeah, I'll give you a 20-yard pass down the field, but I know when it gets tight, your offensive line is going to give it up. You are probably going to cough it up also. And as far as us being able to hold on to the ball offensively against your defense, we'll have some negativity, but we'll get over it. Cam, to me, at this point, and the guys that he have on him are more – there's hardly any experience. And when you have that side of the ball and your offensive line can't control the line of scrimmage, there's absolutely nothing you can do on Sunday is going to beat me. Like, I view where they are right now as in the very lean years of where the Browns are. You got to be slow to rebuild this thing up. You got to be strategic in how you're going to go about doing it too. But as it stands right now, the Titans might be the 31st or 32nd team in the league. Like, how much more raw you want me to get on Cam? I don't know if radio's into that. And I'm not going to give you that firepower from this position.
And Mike, we're not going
to
we're not going to give an argument that we don't believe in ever. If we're going to use our platform that we have to stand on something and analyze things, we're going to do it from something we believe in. If you wanted to be out on Cam Ward this early, just to, I guess, answer Mike's question, the way you do it is by saying, well, this guy's the number 1 overall pick. You're supposed to elevate more of the things around you versus just be a product of your circumstances. You don't get to make as many excuses for a number 1 overall pick. I can accept that that's true, Mike, from my own perspective, while also considering that Cam Ward needs time as a raw prospect that he is, who has a lot of traits, who has a lot of skills, who has an arm. He needs time to know how to use that weapon and use that arm to do the right things in the right contexts of a scheme, of a flow of an offense, of having a number 1 receiver to go to when things get difficult. The problem is he doesn't have any of those things around him. So I can't give you a firm opinion one way or another on Cam Ward other than to say right now, Ramon, he's got things that need to continue to be corrected. He then, though, gets time to correct them.
He will get time. As it stands this year, the way I see it is if he doesn't have an instant amount of success, I feel like next year, plans of like replacing him will probably start too.
Yeah. No, nobody's arguing that.
Year 2 for like first round.
He's got a lot to prove and
absolutely.
quickly.
And in the next year, absolutely.
Yeah, but he'll starting in week 1 of 2026.
Yeah. He'll get it.
Yeah, he will get that opportunity. There's no doubt. 615-737-1045 is our number. We'll get to more of your phone calls. We'll also hear from Mike McCoy on why the Titans ran so many Wildcat plays. You'll hear that coming up next.
We're really lucky to have Genesis Diamonds here. And to see a corporate jewelers, Genesis is a refreshing alternative. Local ownerships, I'm telling you this, man, Genesis always stay ahead of the pack with what they have, with a bigger selection, new and trending styles, and more pricing flexibility, stronger warranties, higher quality standards. And as we head into the holiday season, Genesis is fully stocked, case after case of dazzling jewelry. They have rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, colored gemstone jewelry, luxury pre-owned Rolex watches as well, all at a guaranteed best value price and no commission salespeople too, so no pressure ever to buy at Genesis. And if you're thinking about the holiday engagement, now is the time to get into Genesis and let the experts help you create the ring of her dreams. They've got all the top ring designers. They've got diamonds in every shape and every size, natural and lab grown too. Genesis is a breath of fresh air. They're locally owned but internationally connected. They have the buying power to guarantee you the best value while never sacrificing on good old-fashioned customer care. You will never be treated like a number at Genesis. Genesis Diamonds is modular. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Hey, it's Will Bowling with the holiday season coming up. We're going to be in a lot of big rooms with a lot of people talking. There's a lot of background noise. Maybe one of your family members is not hearing those conversations as well as they used to. You need to go and visit my friends at Brentwood Hearing Center. Brentwood Hearing Center has a team of doctors of audiology who will diagnose where you're having trouble hearing and get you or your family member the right technology, the most recent hearing device technology on the market to fix it. Don't go into those family gatherings this holiday season and still not be able to participate in conversations. Make sure you give them a call, 615-377-0420. They've got the kind of technology that will connect wirelessly to your smartphone, to your television. It's kind of like having Bluetooth headphones and surround sound all the time. And that family member you're thinking of, because I know you thought of them right when I said it, they're going to be able to hear you the first time. And that way you don't have to repeat yourself. Head online, BrentwoodHearingCenter.com, conveniently located right off the Brentwood Old Hickory exit, 615-377-0420. Brentwood Hearing Center, better hearing, better life.
7:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The shorthanded Titans fall short at Nissan Stadium Sunday, losing to the Chargers 27-20, and they also fall to 1-8 on the season. The Titans failed to score an offensive touchdown, but a Cody Barton pick six on the Chargers' second play of the game, and a Chimere DK 67-yard punt return for a touchdown in the first quarter highlighted the game. The Titans now head into the bye week, and the NFL trade deadline is tomorrow. Speaking of trades in NFL news this morning, per ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Dolphins are trading edge rusher Jalen Phillips to the Eagles in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. Miami is paying a portion of Phillips' salary in order to secure that third-round pick. In college football over the weekend, Tennessee takes their third loss of the year to Oklahoma in Knoxville, 33-27. The Vols drop to number 23 in the AP poll. Vanderbilt takes their second loss of the season to Texas in Austin, 34-31, and Vanderbilt drops to 15 in the AP poll. And for the third consecutive week, an SEC head coach has been fired. Auburn has fired Hugh Freeze after a 4-5 start to the season, and Freeze finishes his tenure at Auburn going 15-19 overall. Nashville Soccer Club, after a 2-1 win Saturday night at Geodis Park in Nashville over Inter Miami, forces a Game 3 in the first round of the MLS Cup playoffs. The series will head back to Miami this Saturday, where the winner will move on to the next round. And the Los Angeles Dodgers win a classic Game 7, 5-4 in 11 innings over the Toronto Blue Jays to become the first team in 25 years to repeat as World Series champions. It is the 9th title in Dodger history. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Seven a.m., hour number 2, getting started on your Monday morning. Reaction Monday on Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee every day here on the program, fueled by our good friends at Scooters. Locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. With 11-year NFL veteran involved for life, Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins at the controls. I'm Will Bowling. Why do the Titans keep stalling in plus territory? We're going to dive into that coming up here in 15 minutes. 3 of the Titans' first 4 possessions get to the plus side of the 50, and then they slam on the brakes.
Yeah.
Not much going on at that point. Despite 6 sacks, despite your defense, Ramon also getting you 6 points. 27-20 the final yesterday to the Los Angeles Chargers. Some things were better. Ultimately, though, the game follows the similar script that we're watching pretty much each and every Sunday.
It does, man. And it just kind of falls off a cliff. It's good and competitive to start off. It's just like somebody that hadn't worked on their conditioning. Like, yeah, you're probably going to beat me on a sprint, but this is a marathon. I think that's what the game needs to be recognized by this team and the development of it. Like, when we spoke about what this next head coach has to do and has to look like it, they may have to get stripped down to the bones. Now, what I will say as far as, like, potential trades that have to happen with this team, like, whoever the new coach is going to come in is probably going to need more of a youthful team. I think you almost go to boot camp. I think you almost
That's
have
why they're making so many trades.
Yeah. You may have to get to a point where you want to see the buy-in of resetting the entire culture of the building. That's what it has to be, in my opinion, moving forward.
The Titans ran wildcat plays 3 different times yesterday. They were unsuccessful every time, including one on 3rd and goal from the 1.5-yard line that was short. Set up a goal line stand for the Chargers on 4th and goal, and then the ensuing drive, L.A. and Justin Herbert went 99 yards and put this game out of reach. Mike McCoy was asked after the game, why did you keep going to Wildcats so much?
That's all part of game planning. I think as the offensive staff, when you go look at a game plan, how you're going to attack a certain opponent, there's certain things you always put in. And so when the staff put the plan together, you know, they had a lot of they thought this was the best thing to do. So,
did you read on any read on why they didn't work?
The defense stopped them.
Did you see anything schematic that surprised you?
No, it just, you know, it comes down to execution. We got to execute better in all 4, not just those plays, but plenty of other plays during the game. I think Our third down conversion rate was not great overall. So there's plenty of things. It's not just Wildcat that didn't work.
Interim head coach Mike McCoy speaking with the media postgame. Cam Ward, for reference, was asked the same thing about why it didn't work, and he had the same answer.
Yeah.
Saying, we just got to execute. Plays are there to be made. What did you see on those Wildcat plays, Ramon? And do you just see simply losing one-on-one battles? What's not working in those moments?
It is a losing one-on-one battles. I feel like I said, the fact that there's no threat of what you're going to do with those plays or who you're going to with it, like you have Tony Pollard back there, and I'm not sure if he has a history of throwing the football around. So there's no fear there. And then also I'd say this respectfully to Tony, too, like he's not a speed demon when it comes down to him having the football in his hands. The offensive line in these type of situations haven't won the line of scrimmage. So the idea that, hey, all we got to do is create negativity to a player that's not used to having the football in his hand, that's simple football. As Coach said, the defense stopped him. That's what it was, too. And even if it was going to be a pitch reverse pass to Cam, you also had, it was Alec Ayumanor with a holding call on Khalil Mack on those plays. It's just so much dysfunction and chaos with trying to get this offense to be just competent. Like, that's what you have. That's why it doesn't work. Nobody fears it. And I hate to keep saying that, but I do mention that. Like, the reason I think people held on so much to what Derrick Henry was or having DeAndre Hopkins here or A.J. Brown was because it gave you also the fear tactic. I think that's why a lot of people, and rightfully so, want to hold on to Jeffrey Simmons. He's the fear tactic that you have that's the boogeyman.
There was a problem that had to be solved.
It did.
Yeah.
And there's none of that right now.
Right.
So that's why those plays aren't working. You're not afraid of them.
Titanomics on YouTube asks, so Nick Holtz put the offensive game plan together. There was a follow-up we didn't play that Mike McCoy was asked later by Paul Kaharski. He was asked, does that mean you're not in those meetings? Talking about that was the game plan put together, and Mike McCoy's answer was, no, I am a part of all of those meetings. So, again, you can't just put that decision or the Wildcat thing on one person. As a staff, that's what they came up with in short yardage to have success. It didn't work. I would have liked to see them, at least on the play on the 19-yard line, go to something else. You had 3rd and 2 on the plus 19. You ended up getting a field goal there to make it a one-score game, and then, of course, the Chargers never gave you the football back because they were able to salt away the game on the next drive again. But fool me once, fool me twice. I mean, it's kind of one of those situations. The second time it didn't work. Ramon, why are you going back to it on 3rd and 2 at the 19?
Coaches believe in their plays.
Try something else. I know they put Tajay back there instead of Tony on that one, but again, I did not think that was the right call in that moment. Let's go to Matt in Shelbyville on the phones. You can join us, 615-737-1045. Got some lines open. What's up, Matt? Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Couple things. One, on the trick plays, when you're 0-9, everybody knows that the trick plays are coming because there's nothing else to lose, so you don't have the element of surprise there. But I do have Ramon mentioned it earlier, that there's just a talent deficiency on this team. And you run certain plays like this just to see what your players can do in that particular live game situation, and you see that didn't work. So moving forward, I got a trade scenario for you, and I think that it will work. And I just want your opinion or your if you agree or disagree. The Titans send Jeffrey Simmons and the 2026 draft number 2 and the 2027 number 2 to the Los Angeles Rams for their first 2 picks in the NFL draft next year. They'll have the 30th or the 29th pick, depending on how they go, and they'll have the number 1 pick in Atlanta. So you could possibly have 2 first-round or 2 top 5 picks, and then you'll have the Rams' back-end pick, and then you turn around and you can use that for draft capital. And it only works if you believe that these people can actually can pick players. And then the Rams can use that second-round pick to get their quarterback.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate the call.
I personally think the Rams are too deep into where they are with Matthew Stafford to give up a first-rounder. I know what you mean by having a draft pick for him. I think they're about to start planning for life after Matthew Stafford. Them giving up before first this late.
And the Titans are not giving up 2 seconds.
No.
The Titans are not giving up second-round picks for anything. No, for nothing. The Titans are not in the position to be trading away any draft capital on days 1 or 2 of the NFL draft, and really even day 3, other than a 7th that you get a 6th back in return. So,
not high picks.
And they're not trading Jeffrey Simmons. They're not.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. It's a non-starter, Matt. Everyone else is available other than Cam Ward and some of the rookies. Unless you were just drafted this season. I have to specify this season because we're going to talk about it later. I think there are guys drafted the year before who might be available, but no, I don't. As our drop says from Kyle Shanahan, I don't see any scenario of that. 615-737-1045. Why does the Titans offense keep just running out of steam, running out of gas right when they get past midfield? We'll ask Ramon that next.
Synergex and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. What makes them the MVPs? Well, to start, they use pharmaceutical-grade testosterone to increase your testosterone to a level that is just right for you. Did you know that other clinics may compound their testosterone so you don't even know what you're getting or how effective it will be? But Synergex and Low T Center are the real experts that you can trust for quality care. Also, they're one of the only providers that accept most major insurances as well. Other clinics and online services, they charge you sky-high prices for testing, labs, membership. It goes on. But Synergex and Low T Center, they make it affordable for you to start and stay on treatment, too. And it's not just for the fellas, too, man. Women also have issues that they experience as well as men. Some are tiredness, low energy, mood swings, low libido. So women, you can also go in and get tested. The treatment includes testosterone injections or even hormone pellets for women. At Synergex and Low T Center, they have a long history of helping women find the hormonal balance that brings balance back to their life. So here's the thing. Go ahead and get to a center today. You can book your appointment at trtmvp.com. It is trtmvp.com, and you'll be wishing you did it sooner.
Hey, it's Will Bowling. Is your home's heating system ready for the cold weather of winter? When I got up this morning, 35 degrees. You were probably thinking the same thing. You may have unfortunately learned that the heating system at home, not ready for winter. Well, available 24/7. Lee Company is here to help. With the turn of the season officially here, Lee Company's professional team of technicians are now performing heating tune-ups and seasonal maintenance to keep your home running efficiently this fall and winter. Contact Lee Company's award-winning team online at leecompany.com to keep your home cozy for cold months ahead. That's leecompany.com for all of your heating needs. This is the best team you can get to make sure that your heating system is ready to go. Lee Company's got over 80 years of experience serving Middle Tennessee. Head online, schedule that appointment today at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
Monday morning, Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee. Visit a locally owned location near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. We will get your take on what is not working for the Titans offense. But Ramon, I wanted to ask you why the Titans offense continues to stall when they get on the right side of the 50. Yesterday, out of the first 4 possessions, 3 of them ended in Los Angeles Chargers territory. Drive 1, 6 plays, 30 yards, punt from the LA 48. Second drive, 5 plays, 24 yards. Think about that. 5 plays, only 24 yards to get on the plus side of the 50.
I know.
Punt at the 49-yard line. Third drive is a 3-and-out. They punted from their own 29. The fourth drive, they got a field goal. 48-yarder for Joey Sly. 5 plays, 44 yards. They also had 15 penalty yards on that drive. Ramon, that was another trend of the first 4 drives. 3 of them had penalty yardage. You had 25 offensive penalty yards just in the first half of this game. They punted from their own 42 on their 5th drive, and they ended the half just 2 plays for -8 and 20 seconds at the end of the half. In the second half, they only had 3 drives, and they ended 2 of the 3 in Chargers territory. On the 1 and the 19. The 19, they kicked a field goal, and they punted on their other possession from their own 25. They went 3-and-out. So that's the context. That's what went wrong. In your opinion, Ramon, what is specifically going wrong?
Not doing the simple things right first. And that is, I will legitimately go to this one again and again because there is so much expectation for them. Not moving the line of scrimmage is crucial for them. You can continue to run plays if you're also in 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 4 because you've gotten 4 yards, 6 yards on the ground. That doesn't happen for this team right now. I'm consistently saying also penalties happen on the other side of the ball because at that point I feel like this team is at the position of the Bo Hardiger in his offensive play call and they want to take a shot. And guys are either jumping off sides or getting penalties for holding, illegal formations. It's just not clean. It's not a concise, well-oiled offense. Also, you see also when they get on the other side of the 50, I feel like last week and this week too, teams are sending heat. They're not even getting home, but they're speeding up the processing of Cam with the football in his hand, and he's having to throw to the sideline. So now you're at 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 8 because you only got 2 yards on first down. The 3rd and 8, those type of situations are happening often right there. Turnovers, drops have been a part of it. It's when it's gotten tight, this team has also gotten tight too. Well, it was a couple passes from Cam and the ball hit the guys in their hand. Cam's also playing a part in this. He's got wide open receivers and he's overthrowing them or throwing them into the dirt. The mechanics of all of this offense this year has just been bad. So that's why. Teams are dictating it, got you guessing, and playing outside of yourself. And I mentioned this time and time. There's no baseline given. There's not it was Chad that called early and asked a question we never did answer. Where are they excelling on this team? Offensively? The answer's nowhere.
There's nothing to hang your hat on right now.
There's not a single play that you can say, boy, they run that good. Tajay will get 10, 12 yards on a run.
Right.
But all right, everybody gets those.
I think that's the problem with these drives. I think there's 2 big things to look at, Ramon, and why they're stalling on the plus side of the 50. First and foremost, the field position is so much better. These drives, based on the new kickoff rule, giving you the ball at the 35 and a touchback,
right?
Special teams being so much better, those 2 attributes, Ramon, mean that you just have better starting field position. So it takes less to get to the plus side of the 50 than it used to.
Yeah.
So I do think this stat in this overall conversation is a bit inflated because last year these drives are starting at their own 20 or 25. Now they're starting at their own 35. Mm-hmm. So it's taken less than ever in the NFL than ever before to get to the plus side of the 50 with the way the kickoff rules work. So, of course, you're going to have more drives into plus territory. Here's the second thing, though. The longer you make this Titans offense have to sustain a drive, the more likely it is that they will mess it up with a penalty, with a drop, with a missed protection, with an inaccurate pass, with a wildcat play that doesn't work. That's 5 reasons why the offense didn't move the ball successfully yesterday. They're just so young and so inconsistent that their way of scoring is by hitting some explosives or hitting a chunk play and then putting themselves in the low red zone to be able to convert and get 6. If you just hang back and let the Titan throw it over our head, try it. It's not. I'm not trying to be disrespectful towards anyone on that offense. Like, Ramon, it's just the reality of where they are right now. Right. They are too light in terms of their bag of tricks and what they can go into and what they can rely on when things get tough. I think the most frustrating part of this, Ramon, yesterday is within the third down failures. They were 1 of 9 on third down yesterday. They were 0 of 4 on 3rd and 3 or less.
Yeah.
That's not supposed to happen.
No.
We have talked about it all season. They are putting themselves in too many third and chains, predictable third down situations. They did a little bit better within that yesterday, and it still didn't matter. Now, on the stat sheet, they go down as 0 and 3 on 3rd and 3 or shorter because one of the plays was brought back for a holding penalty. The first Wildcat play of 3 that didn't work, which then becomes a 3rd and 11. Then J.C. Latham false starts and it becomes 3rd and 16. That's what I'm talking about. That sequence is the perfect microcosm of who the Titans are on offense right now. 3rd and 1, Wildcat run, holding penalty bumps you back. 3rd and 11, J.C. Latham false starts. 3rd and 16, you get a guy wide open, and then bad footwork and an inaccurate ball by Cam Ward. And the ball that needed to be thrown 16 yards is thrown 14 yards by Cam, who shot-putted it forward, didn't step into the throw. It's incomplete. Here comes your punt team. That is the perfect glimpse into why the Titans are stalling on the plus side of the 50. It is a who's who. It is a comedy of errors on inconsistency. So how do you fix it? That's my next question, Ramon.
How do you fix it? At this point, Will, wait till next year.
Time. You and I had not talked about this, but we have the exact same answer. Cam's just got to keep playing.
That's it.
Chimray DK and Elikai Maynard just have to keep playing.
Oh.
J.C. Latham just has to keep going out there and just get better. It sucks. It's hard to stomach. It's hard to grit your teeth through. It's hard to sit in there and watch it with a lot of opposing fans around you watching the same game. But that's the reality of the situation. They need another rookie class like the one they just got.
Oh.
They need a quarterback who learns from these things and these drives and these games that aren't working. And there's really no other magic fairy dust solution to it. There's not a trick play. There's not a scheme change. There's not. They just got to keep playing and learn from it. And that's a harsh reality of where this team is right now.
It is. I see somebody bring up the conversation about trying to find answers, right, to what this team is. And they said, well, what's his name? Gunnar Helm needs to be the focal point of this offense. Well, here's the issue. Respectfully to Gunnar, he's no Brock Bowers. And what I mean by that is this. Brock Bowers can run a route short and go deep with it quickly. Gunnar Helm's a guy that can get the ball in his hand, but nobody fears him the way you do Brock Bowers at this point in his career is what I'm getting at. Brock, and my thing with Gunnar Helm does well down the field. What's the issue with going down the field, Will? He's got to hold on to the football and have protection to let that route develop.
The offensive line has to protect long enough to be able to throw it down the field.
There we go.
Unless you're throwing back shoulder go balls on 3rd down against man-to-man coverage.
To a tight end? That's not the way part of it. No, not in that situation.
Because also Gunnar Helm is being asked to chip and help out your 2 tackles.
So that's the problem.
Who are struggling one-on-one in pass protection. Gunnar Helm is the guy you bring in to help protect Cam Ward on 3rd down so he can throw to the other players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's also something that I think needs to be addressed, Ramon, because I do agree. I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. Gunnar Helm is not the number 1 target you're looking for in a big spot, but also he needs more than 1 target.
Yeah, he does.
Gunnar Helm does need more, but we have to be realistic about what we can expect from him given his skill set.
And I would just say this too, just show you where you are as a team, as a fan base, looking for some type of hope. Like Gunnar Helm is just a piece. He's not the piece on this one. Like right now, you currently don't have the guy. Like Calvin Ridley's at this point not the guy also. That's the issue. Like that's why the offense is stalling. Like as bad as that offensive line yesterday, including Joe Alt, as soon as he went out for the Chargers, they were bad.
They did not have another tackle up available. They were putting a guard in Jabari Sawyer at left tackle, who has not played tackle. And he was, he struggled.
He was cheap.
Titans sacked Justin Herbert 6 times yesterday. Jahad Ward's career high for a single season in sacks was 5 in 2023 with the New York Giants. He had 2.5 yesterday. So to your point, you're right. It's not just you with the offensive line issues, but again, there were players to fear within the wide receiver group.
Yep.
And there was a quarterback in Justin Herbert who understood when the pocket broke down how to be decisive, tuck it, and run, and find an avenue to move the chains. Find something different. He led the Chargers in rushing yesterday, 9 carries for 57 yards.
And then you also have a quarterback that's elevating a guy by the name of Quentin Johnston, who's almost out of this league. What a catch.
And Amari Gadsden, who's a day 3 rookie tight end. Arondé Gadsden.
Lad McConkey's a threat. Keenan Allen's still a threat. Trey Harris is still a threat. Like, that's the difference. Like, it is a good bit of this game, the Jimmys and Joes, too. Like, we also have to play that part of it. But the part that I think is problematic for a lot of this fan base, I'll search his name every once in a while just to see what Titans Twitter is saying.
Sure.
A good bit. Twitter ain't real life, but there's a community. I don't want to say a good bit. There's a community that's just out on Cam, too, at this point. Yeah. And what I would say, Cam also has to help himself.
He does.
Those layups of having Van Jefferson across the middle have to be communicated. The football have to be connected on. The football miraculously popping out of his hand. That could have been very problematic for him if JC didn't catch that football. That was a fumble with all offensive linemen around you. As I said a little bit earlier, you also had Denzel Perriman get hit in the face with a football that could have easily been an interception too. And I think he will be this offseason, he's got to be real about himself too.
He's got to rein it in.
He's going to have to rein it in.
That's where we're at this point. There is no big fix the Titans can make other than just don't beat yourself. It's just the big mistakes, Ramon. Again, like when this team makes a mistake, they get their money's worth.
Yeah, they do.
The floor is too low in terms of the general operation of this offense. It's penalties, it's dropped passes, it's inaccurate passes, and then it's play calling. There's no one fix. You could bring in who's the best offensive play caller in the NFL right now, in your opinion?
Andy Reid.
You could bring in Andy Reid and just run his scheme. Just, hey, Andy, come in for a week and draw it up. But if you can't block against 4 consistently, there's no magic fairy dust that's going to fix what the issues is, or what the issues are in 2025. The reality of the situation is it's going to just take a lot more time to A, supplement the roster with some new faces, and B, raise the floor of the big mistakes from young football players who are learning how to be professional football players in real time.
Yep.
Back to the phones. Tony is in Greenville. What's up, Tony?
Yeah, hey, you guys had brought up 5 reasons as to why they can't score in the red zone. I'm going to bring up a 6th reason. So last year, I seem to remember when we had several running backs, we had to decide on our 3rd running back. And Hassan Haskins was a real good special teams player, but they elected to release him and keep Julius Chestnut because Julius Chestnut was more of a power runner.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be the guy that when they were in these, if they needed 1 yard at the goal line, he'd be the guy that would would carry the ball. But he's not playing. So what's the deal with that? I mean, I just don't understand it. They keep this guy for that reason, but then they don't use him. So maybe can you help me explain that to me?
Sure.
I don't get it.
Thank you, Tony.
The 3rd running back never gets any burn, basically. He's a teamer.
The Chargers do you when Haskins is healthy. That is what Haskins is for them.
Oh, yeah. I thought he was
power back near the goal line.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about Julius, why he's not being used here.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying is that, like, there are 3rd running backs that in short yardage get used.
They are, but, like, we've been told and we've seen Tony and Tajay both, downhill in between tackles type of runners, too. You taking the ball out of their hands, your 1-2 to give it to the 3. I just don't know. I guess what he's saying, maybe you could have used him on the goal line in that situation, too. It comes down to trust. This is new personnel for this team, too, as far as the decision-making with Mike McCoy. Bo Hardegree also may have different eyes or perception of what he thinks of Julius Chestnut, too. I'm not going to disparage him in any kind of way other than the fact that most teams are going to stick with their one and then their two running back in those situations.
I think,
the only answer I have for him.
In a perfect world, Khalil Mullings has better injury luck, is healthy. And
That's true, too.
He was drafted to maybe be that guy. And he still maybe could be beyond when he gets healthy. But I think it's a valid point. I think this franchise's ability to go find another power back that can get you some of those tough yards in that moment, added to the list of things they need this offseason.
Yeah. Keep your notepad out.
Rob is up next. Hey, Rob.
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
All right. So I know y'all talking about the fix for the Titans, but the thing is, my question I want to ask you, ask either one of you guys. Ramon, I'm going to ask you, are they changing the playbook or what they're doing every year? Because this team seems so predictable every year. And then as far as the Cam situation, I think his confidence level has been shaken. You got the coaches out there. They leaving him in, although they're getting beat up. It's about 3 or 4 minutes left. They do this every game. I mean, to me, his confidence level is already being shot down. But you're going to keep him in the game when it's 3 minutes left still to play. He's already getting beat up. Either his confidence is gone into his playmakers or they gone into himself. So that couldn't be helping him if the coach is leaving him in. So that's bad coaching there, okay? That's my opinion on that. And as far as the Titans, I mean, it's more than just the players. It's the people who drafting these people. We get this every year. Fans do anyway. We're going to have to start over next year. This is every year. Now, I get it. Some players are bad and some are good. But the Titans need to dig deeper. Who is picking these people? They need to get someone that knows how to draft people and put players where they need to go. If not, the fans are going to keep getting the same old. And this is, let's start over. That's the best we can do. I mean, it's like a song. It's like a country song, a very sad song.
Thank you for the call, Rob. Appreciate it.
You should have said blues, Danny.
To your last point, they have found a guy that can draft. I mean, look at this draft class and how good it looks early. Now, it's early. They got to keep playing, obviously, but I do think that they are, at least in that department, beginning to show signs of improvement. To your previous point about Cam being in the game too long, I mean,
he's going to stay in.
The only way he's going to get better is if he plays.
And the starter don't come out in losing situations like that. And that game, it was a 7-point difference there, Rob, is what I would say.
The game was within reach.
You put the backups in when you're up.
Yeah,
you don't remove. It's like the captain of the ship. The captain go down with the ship. That's where Cam has to be in that situation. And as his first question also about like the playbook.
Yeah.
Like it's just that. It's personnel changes. It's coaching changes at this point right now. And there's just no consistency. Well, you got Bo Hardery calling plays right now. The plays have been there, but there's been no consistency from the top down to have that established. Each new coach you have has his own stuff.
The playbook's a lot different than it was last year. I mean, things are pretty different in terms of the way they're trying to set up Cam for success versus how they tried to use Levis.
Oh, yeah. That side of it, most definitely.
They just, again, they have nothing they can hang their hat on when they got to have it. When you got to have it on 3rd and 7, where are you going? Right now, it's backwards.
I can't even give you an answer.
That's the problem. 615-737-1045, our number. We'll get to Dre up next. Open for your Titans calls for 20 more minutes before we shift gears at 8 a.m. to the college football weekend. Wide open phone lines after this on 104.5 The Zone. Hey, it's Will Bowling. I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French onion dip. It is my guilty pleasure during football season, having dips with chips, wings, and veggies. This dip is versatile. You can literally dip anything in Daisy French onion dip and Daisy Ranch dip. It's going to be good. They're a game changer. As delicious as a homemade dip, plus they're made with real herbs and spices and other ingredients you'd find in your own kitchen. So make sure you try some Daisy French onion dip and Daisy Ranch dip. Delicious. It's going to be the highlight of your watch party, of your tailgate, watching football. Make sure you try some at a grocery store near you. A lot of you may be thinking about relocating in Middle Tennessee. Maybe you just moved into the area. You're thinking, I want to get into a different area, and you don't even know where to begin. You need Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. Hey, it's Will Boldick. When it came time to sell their home in Hendersonville, Paul and his family wanted a real estate team they could trust. They needed strong strategy, clear communication, and proven results. That's exactly what they found with Bernie Gallerani Real Estate. For the very first meeting, Bernie's team created a custom marketing plan that showcased the home beautifully and led to a successful sale. Every question was answered, every challenge handled with care, every step taken with confidence. If you're ready to sell your home and want a team that truly knows how to deliver, calling Bernie Gallerani, that needs to be your first step. 615-428-2644. Bernie guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. No risk to you. Bernie will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent with the 30-day guarantee. If you want to know more, head online, BernieGallerani.com. My guy Bernie is going to take care of you. Call him directly on his cell phone, 615-428-2644, online at BernieGallerani.com. Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee, 615-737-1045. How you jump in. On Twitter, at Ramona and Will. What is the biggest problem with the Titans offense right now? 51% of you say play calling / coaching. 29% say offensive line. I think that's actually what I would vote on. 15% of you say quarterback. 4% say wide receivers. What do you think?
I would say play calling is where I was on that, play calling and coaching.
What do you think should be different?
It should have started off at the beginning of the season.
What do you mean?
The establishment of your direction as a coach, as a staff, as a team. I thought we were getting that in training camp. I thought it looked as if, okay, they got a plan.
They had an identity.
They had an identity.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to commit to the run. I thought they were going to commit to keeping Cam in a box so that he could grow gradually as a young pro.
The identity looked like 2024 Miami.
It did.
Yeah.
It absolutely did, Will. And I'm not trying to, go back to just what that was, but I felt like when we were watching training camp, those were the things that were provided to us in the sessions that we were allowed to see.
Sure.
Was that side of it. Yeah. And now, this is why also people always work on technique and small things when they come down to development because, to our point, you got to always go back to home plate whenever you're trying to figure out what's next. You mentioned it a while ago, and I think that's the biggest issue right now this year. Is the reason I had my answer. But you said the longer you let them hold on to the ball, the more you can kind of count on something bad happening.
Let's go to the phones, 615-737-1045. Dre is in Nashville. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Good morning.
What's up, man? Look, I just want to shout out to my girl because we both look and listen to you guys every day, and we have to travel in different cars, and I know she is listening right now. So I just want to shout out to my baby.
There you go, then.
Shout out to Dre's girl.
Shout out to Dre girl, man. You Dre girl now.
That's the positive. Now, here's my thing. What are the Titans doing at practice? I feel like they're out there with their cell phones. They're out there trying to get with the cheerleaders. They're out there playing tag with each other. Like, the way they're performing, like, what are they doing at practice? Is the coach in his boxers eating Lucky Charms? Like, what is he doing right now? I don't know. I just need y'all to – it's to the point now I'm finna go up there with a bullhorn, and if I see anybody running around playing tag or anything, I'm about to be on them.
Appreciate it, Dre.
Thank you, Dre.
And one more thing before y'all go. Go get y'all some Brothers These Wings on Dickerson Road.
Shout-outs brought to you by your mom and them.
Your mom and them. And Dickerson Road, baby.
Thank you, Dre. Appreciate the call.
I can tell you what practices are. Like, as far as the breakdown of it, Wednesdays are your intro days. You have the big meeting, breakdown personnel. You go out there and you get your baseline for what you're going to run.
Installing what the game plan is for that opponent.
Exactly. You're going to go base stuff, right? There's probably an individual period where it's you versus you, meaning O versus D of Titans. That's Wednesday. Thursday, situational football. You go third down, you go backed up, you go red zone type of situations. And Fridays is the dress rehearsal. You got to think it's 3 days of practice. So, Dre, you're asking, like, what are practices like? There's a lot of detail that kind of go into it, the individual, but your goal during the season, you can't have your reset. It's not like a training camp practice, and there's only so many healthy bodies that you have, so you can't have these guys doing bull in the ring and full tackle drills to the ground.
To put it simply, the time at practice to get better as individual players is in July and August.
Yes, sir.
From now on, and when you get in the regular season, you are installing things for the opponent, not learning technique and fundamentals, not at the professional level. The way you earn the right to play professional football is by already knowing a lot of technique and fundamentals. Now, that being said, Mike McCoy has gone on record that they're maybe spending a little bit more time in individual periods to clean up some things.
Yeah.
And that's all good. But even still, with that being said, Ramon, to your point, a lot of professional football week to week during the regular season, you don't have time to do individual, hey, we're going to work on your technique in X, Y, or Z. You spend a little bit of time on it, but not as much in pro football as you would in college and definitely like high school. Yeah. Let's go to Chris in Hermitage, 615-737-1045. Hey, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Hey, guys. Appreciate y'all, as always, taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So I voted on the poll y'all put out this morning, and, my vote was for offensive line, obviously, but it made me think, and I asked myself a question. If I could wave a magic wand, right, and I could make any one of those 4 options y'all listed immediately elite for the Titans, solve the problem, it'll never be another issue again for the franchise. My answer was obviously quarterback. Yeah. And, obviously I just want an elite quarterback for the Titans. But my question is, I was wondering why my answers were different whenever I changed the context around the question. And I really didn't have a good answer for myself. So I wanted to ask y'all if y'all could ask yourself that question. You wave a magic wand, you make one of those units elite, either play calling or offensive line or the quarterback or the other option. I can't remember right now. But and if they're the same as the problem you voted for, or if it's different. And
sure.
Why. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Chris. Easy answer for me.
What's that?
Offensive line.
I hate to be that guy, but that's the answer I have, too.
If you could wave a magic wand and make one of those 4 things better, offensive line, play calling, wide receivers, or quarterback, because offensive line is most influential to making those other 3 things better.
Yes, it is.
Offensive line puts you in more situations where you can call more plays because guys have more time to get open. Your wide receivers are better because the guys can hold up for 3.5 seconds, and you can block longer to get open. Cam's not seeing ghosts and having to bail out and have messy footwork because he's got a clean cylinder to step into throws and throw for them. All of it gets better if you can protect against 4. And right now, Ramon, that's why I think that's still the thing holding them back. They can't protect against number advantages in pass protection.
It's 3 quarterbacks I think of when you say, okay, they had question marks around them when it comes down to their level of play and what they are. I'd throw a 4th one in there too. Baker Mayfield was always, you saw it in Baker.
Saw flashes.
But it was, I think, organizational for him. But these other 3 guys to me had questions. I would throw Jalen Hurts. He has questions, right? But what does he have in front of him, Will? An offensive line. I'll throw Daniel Jones in there. Right? Had a lot of questions about what he is, but he's comfortable, but he got an offensive line and weapons now. The other one, to me, probably put on one of the best redemption performances I've seen in a quarterback, and I know he's got weapons. Jackson Smith and Jigba is, God, he's going to be a problem for this league. But the last quarterback, Sam Darnold.
15 of 15 in the first half yesterday.
Think about what he was in New York. You mentioned seeing ghosts. He invented I'm seeing ghosts, Will.
Yeah, he's the one that said it, right? You're right.
But what does he look like now? He's so comfortable.
Yeah, I think we can all say that Sam Darnold is not a one-hit wonder at this point.
That's also, too, he's got a defensive head coach. There's an emphasis on the run. It looks like they got a mentality of finishing plays. And yeah, the other part is too, he got hella players on that team that are good.
He
too.
does.
The skill, I ain't gonna minimize that. It ain't all just him.
It takes time to build up a roster to put quarterbacks like that in the position to be successful.
But bro, you mentioned why these guys are what they are though, Will. It starts up front with the bigs.
Has the Titans offensive line met your expectations this year?
Hell no.
I think that's the most frustrating part of this season is that they went and they built Cam and O-line. And we're still talking about the O-line, and Cam's still the most sacked quarterback of the NFL. Cam is at fault for some of those.
Mm-hmm.
Lack of separation at wide receiver is at fault for some of those. Down in distance after penalties is at fault for some of those situations. But ultimately, Ramon, just to put it simply, to answer the question that you just answered, the Titans' offensive line has not met expectations this year. And that was the thing that was supposed to be really ascending and getting better. Turns out it's actually wide receiver. That might be the thing that's really kind of exceeded your expectations. Because if you told me they weren't going to have Ridley for this much,
all right,
I would have been a little more worried.
Yeah.
Elikai Manor and Chimere DK look like players. We need to see offensive linemen showing the same flashes that DK and Manor are showing. Coming up, we shift gears, talking college football. Vols lose at home in dark mode for the first time ever. We'll talk about it next.
It's Ramon Foster for Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man. Listen, they are local licensed team right here in Middle Tennessee. And y'all know how I feel about local, man. We got to always pour back in this community because we're Tennessee strong, but also we love local folks that absolutely are in the community with us, man. And let me tell you about my friends at Jewel Roofing. I do mean that, man. Shout out to Robbie Van Norman, the owner of Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man, because he believes in you knowing him, knowing his name, knowing his company also. They're trusted. They're family owned and been in Middle Tennessee since for over 25 years. They serve from Clarksville to Murfreesboro. They stand out by simply what I just told you, building relationships, earning trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics where somebody come knocking at your door and start storm chasing you because there's a big issue in this area. No, they don't work like that. They work on building relationships. If there's something going on with your home, they'll just simply tell you, hey, this is a major issue or not. If it's not a major issue, they believe this. With the trust that they're trying to have with you, you'll either come with them now or 10 years from now. Either way, you'll be able to trust them in the work that they do because they are the best at it. To get a quote from them or have them come walk on your roof to figure out what's going on with it, you can call them at 615-868-9999 or visit their website at jewelroofing.com. That's jewelroofing with 2 L's.com.
What if you could pull up to $500,000 in cash out of your home and drop your mortgage rate to 4.99% APR? Hey, it's Will Boulding. Right now at Loan Pronto, they've got the lowest rates in 3 years. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get your cash in as little as 3 days. Pay off all those high-interest credit cards and even skip your next 2 house payments. One client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off their debt, paid off 2 car loans, and saved $2,100 a month. One call, life changed. There's no wait, no hard credit pull up front. You probably won't need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Rates are at a 3-year low, so act now. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com for your free instant home appraisal. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated with the BBB and nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 and see how much cash you can get today. LoanPronto.com. Equal housing lender NMLS 1661781 on approved credit. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
8:02, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The shorthanded Titans fall short at Nissan Stadium Sunday, losing to the Chargers 27-20 and fall to 1-8 on the season. The Titans failed to score an offensive touchdown, but did manage touchdowns on a Cody Barton's pick six on the Chargers' second play of the game and a Chimere Dike 67-yard punt return for a touchdown in the first quarter. The Titans now head into the bye week, and the NFL trade deadline is tomorrow. Speaking of trades and the deadline, in NFL news this morning, per ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Dolphins are trading edge rusher Jalen Phillips to the Eagles in exchange for a 2026 third-round pick. Miami is paying a portion of Phillips' salary to get that third-round pick. In college football, Tennessee turned the ball over 3 times and take their third loss of the year to Oklahoma in Knoxville, 33-27. The Vols dropped to number 23 in the AP poll. Vanderbilt with their second loss of the season, this one to Texas, 34-31 on Saturday. Vanderbilt drops to number 15. The first college football playoff rankings will come out tomorrow. Nashville Soccer Club, after a 2-1 win Saturday night at Geodis Park in Nashville over Inter Miami CF, forces a Game 3 in the first round of the MLS Cup playoffs. The series heads back to Miami for a crucial win and move on this Saturday. And the Los Angeles Dodgers win a classic Game 7 5-4 in extra innings that went to 11 innings over the Toronto Blue Jays to become the first team in 25 years to repeat as World Series champs. It is the 9th title in Dodger history. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Second half of the show, hour number 3, getting started on a Monday morning edition of Ramon and Will. As always, we're fueled by Scooters Coffee, who is locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Tennessee falls to Oklahoma over the weekend. Vanderbilt goes to Austin, and despite a late comeback attempt, falls short against the Texas Longhorns. Not a good weekend for football in the state of Tennessee. If you want to talk college football, we got lines open, 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster was in the building. Mm-hmm. You were in the booth. Mm-hmm. I was also in the building for the first time this season. As Tennessee falls to Oklahoma 33-27. Ramon, what was most disappointing about the way this one went?
The run game being dominated by Oklahoma defensively. They absolutely wrecked the offensive line at the line of scrimmage, the way I viewed it. I thought in a matchup like that where you know you have a known defensive head coach coming in, he emphasizes defense, being tough. We wouldn't beat them last year. The personnel on defense was full of juniors and seniors. A lot of guys that Jason Swain said in our broadcast that should already probably be in the NFL. And it looked like it. When I tell you, if you want to look at the defensive pursuit of what you want your defense to look at, I challenge you all, go back and look at Oklahoma's front seven. They're downhill. They're very concise on how they hit their gaps. Their edge players, I thought, was the most impressive. They got upfield, they saw the ball go right, and they immediately put their foot in the ground and chased the ball down. That linebacker, or the edge player, number 33, golly, I just threw my script away. He was phenomenal. I got to go get it out the trash. Legitimately, he was phenomenal for them on pursuit and game tackling. I thought that was most disheartening going into it, considering this offense has had a reputation of being able to run the football, being able to be dominant when you need them to. And there was, if you're going to use the spread offense, your abilities to run the football have to always be there. And it hadn't been there, to be quite honest with you, the last 3 weeks.
You talking about R. Mason Thomas?
No, not R. Mason Thomas. Number 33.
33 is a kicker.
There was another one. God, let me go grab it.
There's not another number 33. All right, Ramon's going up to get his sheet. While he's doing that, I'll give you my take on that and what Josh Heupel said on it. The stat is disappointing that in 4 of Tennessee's first 6 games, the offense has run for less than 45 yards in the first half. Josh Heupel postgame said, 1, they're good up front against the run. 2, there's some times where we had some runs and we're throwing perimeter tags when we shouldn't. Combination of all those things. Josh Heupel kind of threw Joey Aguilar under the bus a little bit there, but he's not wrong. And the headline of all of this, the takeaway is that Tennessee did not get good quarterback play on Saturday against Oklahoma. The stat sheet says one thing. Ultimately, the problem is that Joey Aguilar made a lot of bad decisions. Some of them were obvious, some of them were not. Some of them were he's down there somewhere throws and plays when there's no point taking risks. Many of them, again, were pulling the ball when the running back has a lane to run in, handing it off when you should have kept it around the edge.
Yeah.
Throwing a perimeter tag, meaning those little screens. It's not really a screen. It's, as Brian Callahan would say, a run solution in the RPO when you should have handed it off. Oklahoma walked a lot of guys into the box late. Oh. And right as soon as Tennessee would snap it, they would run players into the box. Now, we've seen teams do this against Tennessee. I didn't think Joey Aguilar handled it very well, Ramon.
Oh, I didn't think they blocked it well at all of them. Taylor Wan is the guy I'm thinking about, number 44. He's 6'4", 276, and moved like he's 245. He was good.
From Nolensville High School, Taylor Wan, Brentwood, Tennessee.
Is he really?
Yep.
Well, Taylor Wan cooked. No wonder he was playing with so much daggone passion then. He had a good game. They also got a defensively, they got a redshirt senior on this team who's their will linebacker. He's a linebacker. Listen to his stature. 6'5", 242 pounds at linebacker. Number 5 for their defense, and he was daring anybody to run across the middle on Saturday. He was legit. That defense, man, is going to have plenty of guys that get drafted in the NFL over the next 2-3 years, legitimately. They looked the part this past weekend. You mentioned the roaming that the defense was doing. I thought it was strategic. They got up and walked around, and at the snap, they blitzed, and they were able to get home and create pressure for Joey. I know Hyper threw Joey Aguilar under the bus a little bit too, but that Brazel interception, honestly, I go towards the play caller on that one. You, in my personal opinion, you got Brazel against a freshman outside. All right, we know that matchup, but the fact that you weren't winning the line of scrimmage the way you should have, there was no need for safeties to play closer to the line of scrimmage or bite on any kind of run action whatsoever.
Yeah, right.
He was playing back deep. The throw, I thought, was awesome. I look at the concept of the play and say, who should have been occupying the safety so that he wouldn't go down and be in a double-team situation to undercut the pass?
To be fair, too, Heupel wasn't necessarily criticizing that play. He's talking more about the RPOs.
Oh, yeah. But
saying there were too much pass when we should have we weren't running into the right looks and then we weren't throwing into the right looks. The Oklahoma defense confused Joey Aguilar.
I also thought on one of those plays, though, too, well, the sack fumble, the one that R. Mason Thomas got, I thought it was a bust by David Sanders.
It
was, okay.
That's what I thought. Sanders.
Yeah.
Tennessee turned the ball over inside Oklahoma's 30 twice. They missed a field goal. Oklahoma and their quarterback wearing running shorts made 3 at 50+. Tennessee is the team that beats itself. That's just the reality of who this football team is. Some teams find ways to win, and they did against Mississippi State, to be fair, but also they beat themselves in that game and forced themselves to have to sweat it out and find a way to win late.
Right.
This Tennessee team just beats itself, and they did against Oklahoma, they did against Georgia, they did against Alabama. We're going to talk more about what this team is and how we view this season as a whole, but on this given day, I thought Tennessee lost to a team they are better than that. Tennessee is a better team than Oklahoma, and sitting in that stadium, I'm more confident of it.
Oh.
I was not impressed with Oklahoma. I'll be honest. I was not blown away by their offense, that their defense was opportunistic and caught passes that were thrown right at them.
Right.
I was impressed by the way Brent Venables schemed up pressure. I'll give them that. They took the game that was given to them, but I feel even more confident that Tennessee is a better team than Oklahoma. They gave the game away. So then what does that mean? It means when you consistently give games away, you're not a very good football team. It means that you don't get to win games against opponents like that. It means that you are not ultimately going to meet the ceiling of what you could be this year. That's tough to take. Considering what we thought this team could be after the Georgia loss, where we said, all right, hey, let's not take away the bad things we said about this team just because they missed a kick late. Turns out that on that day it was a missed kick. On another day, it's busted protection. Another day it's blown coverage. Another day it's muffing punts. Another day it's not tackling, not taking good angles. On any given Saturday, there are just big mistakes, whether mental or however you want to call it, that cost Tennessee football games. And that will be the story of the 2025 Tennessee Volunteers.
Mm-hmm. It was. It's fascinating looking at how this season's kind of unfolded. Again, the scheme of it, to your point, and how you got to have answers for the adjustments, especially when you were somewhat moving the football. Oklahoma capitalized on your errors more than anything. The sack fumble, blown play.
Yep.
The interceptions, double coverage, can't have those type of situations happen. But again, if you just do or take what's in front of you, then you win that football game. I felt like whether that was Joey or whether that was Heupel's play calling, I thought that Brenton Venables and his defense set traps, and they fell into them every single time.
They did.
A team like that, Oklahoma, you take what's in front of you with them, especially if they're getting to you quick. You're not running the football the way you want to. Tennessee, at no point in that game this past weekend, the Vols didn't own the line of scrimmage. And also, you also had a situation in where Oklahoma's offense strategically could, at certain points, just with Xavier Robinson, hand the football off and just lean for 2-3 yards at a time. Can't have that be the case, especially when I got to give credit to them when they're bad. Well, when they're good, because we talk about when they're bad, the defense held its own for the most part. They did. Now, the 3rd and 13 where you let John Mateer out of the pocket, not okay. You knew at one point that might happen.
Can't happen, right.
In that moment, it absolutely cannot
He can't throw over your head.
No, he don't want to.
Just play zone and stand at the sticks and say, all right, Red Rover, bring John Mateer right over. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Ramon, again, Tennessee's defensive linemen have this problem. They get so far upfield on 3rd downs.
Eyes get bright.
They chase the sack so much upfield, and there's these huge running lanes for the quarterback to step up in.
Yeah.
And they better figure that out before they play Vanderbilt, because they will not beat Vanderbilt with that kind of effort consistently, because Diego Pavia will just scramble for 100 yards. And Pavia can't throw it over your head either. Pavia and Mateer, this version of John Mateer is pretty similar to Diego Pavia,
it was,
to be honest with you. So let's talk about what it means for the season. Tennessee's playoff hopes are done. We asked a question earlier this year, Moon. We said, we're going to find out something about Tennessee earlier in the season, and we got our answer on Saturday. I'll tell you what that is coming up next.
Dickens Private Landscape Supply. If you want to go where the pros go, these are the guys you trust to take care of your lawn year-round. Will Bolding with my friend Trey Hartsook. Trey, this time of year, if folks have that equipment that maybe was acted up a little bit as they were mowing the lawn during the warmer seasons, now is a great time to upgrade, to get it fixed, repair, delivery. You guys do it all.
Hey, Will, it's something that we've started doing the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been a success, because letting people know that, hey, we can come out to you, pick up your equipment, bring it back to Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply, service it, repair it, anything we need to do, and get it back to you at no cost. The only thing you're paying for is the parts and the labor. It's really been good. So take advantage of that. That's such a good thing that we do. And it doesn't matter what it is, right? If it's a riding lawnmower, zero turn, we're conveniently located in Aldermill, Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood Lawnmower, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. Opening up at 7 a.m., closing at 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to 12 on Saturdays until Thanksgiving. Give us a call or check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
Monday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Oklahoma 33, Tennessee 27. Reacting to it here on the show and on the phone, 615-737, that we'll get to in a moment. So, Ramon, we asked a question earlier in the season when Tennessee played Georgia. We said, after that loss, there were a lot of good things that happened. You can't erase them just because Max Gilbert missed a kick at the end of the game.
Right.
The thing we said is, now, let's watch the rest of the games to decide, was this a sign that Tennessee is an SEC championship and playoff contender, and you just missed a kick at the end of the game? Or is this a game you're going to need later because you will show your inexperience, you will slip up, that was the best version of you, you got close, but close is kind of as good as you were going to get because at the end of the day, this team still has some big flaws? We got our answer. It's the second one. It's the latter. Tennessee's A game was not enough to beat Georgia. We just didn't know if that was their A game or if that was still kind of their B game. Turns out that was about as good as it was going to get for Tennessee this season. Tennessee has a win over two teams that now have SEC wins. Those teams are Kentucky and Mississippi State. How do you view this season, Ramon, now that Tennessee is out of the college football playoff race and the corresponding pressure that I think a lot of people are starting to put on Josh Heupel and disappointment they have in Josh Heupel?
I think there's still a ceiling that you're trying to crack through. We mentioned where they were as far as tiers with this team, right? Especially with what happened earlier this spring. You asked me, what is this team right now? I think essentially in reality where we thought they would be. That's kind of where I sat with it too. I said to you, and maybe I'm a bad VFL by saying this and alone, but like I'm almost glad that the race is over at this point though too, because you knew if you got into the playoffs, like the ceiling that you had of talent, the ceiling that you had of this scheme continually working against good defenses is what we've seen, or the opportunity to take advantage of people just wasn't there. Like the surprise element when you get to this point of the season isn't as there as much, and especially in a year in which you not running the football as good as you should, like. This was a bonus to me and Joey, and I'm going to ride that train for as long as you possibly could to see what it would turn out to be. But you got a freshman playing at right tackle right now. You had injuries at both your starting corner position right now, but you're still playing good ball. My contingency is this. Coach Heupel and his staff have to, at some point in this offseason, do two things, in my personal opinion. Evaluate this offense, like really break it down and see what has to work, what's going to work, what personnel are you good on using, and the growth of those guys too. And the second part, I think we're learning and looking at Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia. I'm going to crap on Georgia real quick. Georgia's lucky right now. Georgia's got a coach that's a drill sergeant that's allowed themselves to have, I will say this, a style of ball.
They're a coach and team that finds a way to win when they don't play well.
Kirby gets it.
He does.
I got to give
credit
him
for that.
Yes, and I got to give him credit for that because if you look at Georgia's wins,
they're not a great
as of
team.
late. They're not, but they got a finish gene.
Yeah.
And they got a coach that understands how to operate in these type of situations. Ole Miss, right? Should have lost that one, but they won. Okay, Auburn, 20-10 against Auburn that also just got beat by Kentucky. Okay, that's that part of it too. And Florida with a fired head coach. I give that Kirby and the clutch team. But what I will say about those three teams that have beat the Vols this year, this is my bone to pick with offensive coaches. They have to stop believing in their scheme more than they do their teams. And what I mean by that is build up your team. Most of these offensive coaches want to go spend as much as they possibly can on every single weapon that they can and neglect sometimes the defense because they believe in outscoring you. There has to be a big allotment of money put towards defensive line and safeties for this team moving forward. And I would also throw some veteran leadership in it too. Go get you a couple of juniors out of the portal because now at this point you can do it. That to me, I feel like it's a separator on cracking to that next tier.
Mm-hmm.
Is the emphasis on your defense just as well.
I think it's fair. I think that any Tennessee fan that is wanting a new head coach, or Ramon, it's crazy. I have sensed a lot of pressure and a lot of angst and a lot of we're tired of this. We had someone in our F and Big chat this morning compare Josh Heupel to James Franklin. I could give you 10 different reasons why that is just a terrible comparison. Terrible comparison. There are Tennessee fans that I heard from over the weekend, that talked to, that are on social media, that are tired of what this team is and think that Tennessee can do better. You guys are so out of touch with reality if you think that that's the case. So out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
Well, this team has unfortunately, mid-season, regressed back to their preseason expectations. That's not fireable. This team is what we thought it was back in July, back in August. We felt like this was probably an 8 or 9 win team. Didn't we? Didn't we say the ceiling was 9 wins this year? Well, that's still on the table, and you're probably going to be favored in the rest of your 3 games. Now, I'm in no way guaranteeing you're going to win those last 3, because you could also lose 2 of the last 3 at Florida and at home to Vandy. They could definitely lose that game. But this team is what we thought it was. The Georgia game showed us glimpses that they could be more, that they could be a playoff team again. I think the frustrating thing is, Ramon, that Joey Aguilar showed us a lot better quarterback play early than we thought. And some of that is because the receivers are way better still. They have not regressed back to their expectations. They are still way better than we thought they were going to be this year.
Plays, man.
But Joey on Saturday against Oklahoma became the guy he was at App State. He made some really bad decisions, and his bad decisions cost Tennessee points. That's the reality of who this team is right now. So they, Ramon, made a philosophical shift towards playing freshmen, playing their high school recruits, not going into the portal to get more safety help when they lost Jacoby Thomas, to not get another linebacker to supplement Arion Carter and Jeremiah Thielander, to not get another edge rusher to add with Josh Josephs, Caleb Herring, and Jordan Ross. They didn't go get another premium D tackle. They got D tackles, but they got backups. They got depth. They didn't go get wide receivers to go help Mike Matthews, Chris Brazzell, and Braylon Staley. They got Amari Jefferson. He's not played at all. They got a guard and a center. And Ramon, that's your best position group right now. I mean, maybe on the team that's really exceeded expectations, the offensive line. Tennessee took a gamble. Austin Price has talked to us about it. We've talked about it. Brent Hubbs has talked about it. They decided, let's let the kids play. Less guys are going to transfer. Less guys are going to leave. We build up our own culture. They might be better for it in 2026,
They might be.
but they are paying for it right now.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
They are paying for their inactivity in the transfer portal. That, to me, beyond the Nico stuff, because Nico, Tennessee still upgraded. The Nico thing, that isn't even really a part of this anymore.
No.
To me, they got it wrong in the offseason, short term, for the long-term betterment of Tennessee football to try to keep more guys in-house. We're going to find out in 2026 if it worked.
Oh,
we're going to find out.
100%. The firing narrative, though, that is
that's insane.
Don't chase Auburn. Don't chase Penn State.
Don't try to be Auburn.
Don't do that. I get where you are. Like, each coach deserves to push through the window, right? And figure out what they are. You've had more success since 2021 as a football program than you had all of the 20 teams. Let's just throw that out there real quick. Is Coach Heupel perfect? Absolutely not. Is Kirby Smart perfect? No. Is Kalen DeBoer perfect? No. Right? You got to think, before Ohio State won that national championship, let's go back to that. How many of their fans had pitchforks and ready to get rid of Blackbeard? Ron Day was gone.
Mm-hmm.
Was he not? Wasn't that the conversation? Ron Day, he doesn't know how to manage all of this talent.
If Tennessee had beaten him in the college football playoff last year, he's probably out.
He got Will Howard to thank, right?
And Chip Kelly.
Yeah, and
yes. And Quinshon Judkins.
And
Jeremiah Smith.
but he also went out of, and we got plenty of them, right? Carnell Tate, but
they had dudes.
But that was their issue, though, too. He didn't know how to manage that. Chip Kelly came in and showed him, this is what you do with all of this right now. So, Vols fans, I get y'all mad, and we want to go for blow every single time, but be cool. I swear to you, be cool on this one, man. This is that's just me.
There are very few programs that can contend at a playoff level in the SEC every single year. And you're not one of them yet. Mm-hmm. We learned that this season.
I got their Twitter god that's not one of them yet. Lane Kiffin ain't one of them yet.
Yeah, that's right.
You say what you want to about
you
him.
are in the position that Lane and Ole Miss was last year, with the way that you've kind of fumbled away a playoff spot in November this year.
Now he's
and 1 year later,
Yeah.
now they're the team. Texas A&M last season, we could talk about them as well. They lost at Auburn, who just fired their head coach. That was one of 6 of Hugh Freeze's SEC wins. And now they are back in the playoff discussion. Again, like we said before the season, Ramon, when Stephen Godfrey was in here, we said, if Tennessee goes 7-5, can we please not have a referendum on what's everything wrong with Tennessee football?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the comment we just got, Heupel is a gimmicky offensive coach that allowed for success. Like,
so is Lane.
Okay, yeah, so is Lane Kiffin. So is Texas A&M. Like, who doesn't in college football have gimmicky offenses? Like,
what is Vandy's offense right now without Diego Pop?
Who doesn't have a gimmicky offense is Georgia, and they're all trying to fire their offensive coordinator. They would love to have a gimmicky offense. Like, that's not the thing. It's the fact that you lost a lot off of a playoff team last season. Your whole front seven is gone. Your quarterback left in April. Again, that's not the biggest problem facing this team. But again, your quarterback left in April. You lost the SEC Player of the Year, who broke a 100-year-old touchdowns record last season that had stood since the 1920s. Oh. You can't just wave a magic wand and fix all of that in one offseason. They are who we thought they were going to be. That's not fireable. We don't need to have a come to Jesus meeting and get back in the boardroom to talk about what to fix about Tennessee football. They just couldn't reload quick enough. Okay, well, let's see if they can do it in 2026. Yeah. Let's go to the phones. We got loaded lines on the Vols. Philip is in Spring Hill first up.
What up, Philip?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Morning.
Hey, I was just going to bring it to the table. Is Josh Heupel's seat getting warm? If it isn't, should it be?
No.
And if he was at LSU, I would say his seat would be getting pretty toasty.
Sure, but Philip, this isn't LSU. This is Tennessee.
Also, Philip, Heupel checked one box that Brian Kelly didn't. Brian Kelly never even made it to the college football playoff,
right.
So he'd at least have that grace.
Right. Well, that I understand, but we've only had the playoffs for 1 year, too, so.
Yeah, that's understood, but he's also only in year, 3 or 4 at the time? No, 2?
Year 4.
Year 4?
This is year 5.
With a freshman quarterback at the time, too. Like, Brian Kelly has underperformed tremendously there. Like, there's a difference in the two. We're talking about a $25 million roster where you can transfers who are starters from other teams like Barry and Brown with a potential Heisman quarterback and on top of the first-round quarterback. Like, there is a difference in the two right now that you're talking about.
Well, and two, to the commenter earlier that made the comparison saying Josh Heupel is SEC James Franklin. James Franklin brought back a roster this season that was projected number 2 in the country, number 1 in the Big Ten, with a future NFL first-round pick, Drew Aller, 2 future NFL running backs, and Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, a wide receiver room that was totally overhauled, an offensive line that brought guys back, the best defensive coordinator who just won the national title last year in Jim Knowles. Andy Kotelnicki is one of the best offensive minds in football at coordinator, a 25 probably plus $1 million roster, and a team that was expected to win now. And they lost to UCLA. And they lost to, that's not the same thing.
Northwestern.
Tennessee never was close to having Penn State level expectations this season. Not even close.
I agree with you 100% there.
He's also been at Tennessee half the time that James Franklin was at Penn State. If we're still having these problems in another decade, all right, maybe we'll have a different conversation, maybe 5 years. But it's not. This is 2025. Yeah. Vandy Chris is next. What's up, Vandy Chris?
So, guys, I'm highly disappointed that we went down to Texas. We got manhandled for 3 quarters. Diego Pavia, I don't think hurt his Heisman chances with his 407 total yards and 4 touchdowns, but that's not what I want to talk about. I can be as objective as any fan out there, and I'm here today to defend Josh Heupel. This man replaced a quarterback. He replaced 4 offensive lineman starters. He replaced 2 wide receivers. He replaced a running back. The preseason expectations were anywhere from 6-6 to 9-3. 9-3 is still on the table, folks. You don't fire a guy for that. You don't. I saw a comment in the chat just a few minutes ago that said, Josh Heupel is Tennessee's version of Mark Richt. Guess what? Who freaking cares? Mark Richt won 10 games every year. There's not a problem with that. Stop trying to fire a coach that was in the playoffs just 10 months ago and is rebuilding an entire roster with young guys. Your defensive star, Arian Carter, playing hurt all year. What do you expect? Stop being edge-of-the-seat fans, support your team, and stop trying to fire your coach like everybody else. With that, I'll hang up and listen to you talk about it. You guys have a great day.
I think you made good points, Vandy Chris.
Vandy Chris cooked.
I think you know ball.
I didn't know where you were going. I ain't got nothing on Vandy Chris. I was ready to go balls to the wall.
I agree with every word.
Chris, I can't even call you that no more. You just Chris to me.
Agree with every word. The Mark Richt part of it is, I think, fair. I mean, again, we're only 5 years into this. We got to remember where Tennessee was when Josh Heupel took over. And I think that it's going to still take more time to knock on the door and see if it ever opens to be a legitimate national championship contender. I don't think we have our answer to that, Ramon, in 5 years. Do you?
No, you don't have your answer for that. He mentioned like Mark Richt, 10-2 gets you in the playoffs again.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
That's what you're dealing with.
Like
too.
Mark Richt also may have lasted longer at Georgia. Because again, like all you got to do is just get in the dance and get hot.
It's that.
And 9-3, 10-2, being in that neighborhood, if you can be 10-2 the way Mark Richt was time and time again at Georgia, and you get the right lineup of teams to play against in December and early January, and you get the right pathway to the college football playoff. I mean, Penn State was pretty close to a national championship game a season ago, and now that guy's fired. Like, that should tell you when things bounce your way in terms of who you get to play, you guys get hot at the right time, you get the right injuries. Like, there are more seats at the table than there used to be. And having a Mark Richt level coach, A, isn't the worst thing because that gets you a seat at the dance. B, there's also not a Nick Saban to compete against. It's easier to be successful and compete for national titles as Mark Richt because Mark Richt doesn't have to go see Nick Saban. Mark Richt doesn't have to go see Urban Meyer. That coach isn't in the SEC right now. There are a lot of Mark Richts coaching in the SEC right now.
Yes, there are.
There's Kirby Smart, and then there's kind of everyone else. To me, I don't think that's the worst thing because look at who Mark Richt had to go up against.
The worst thing I think is Nebraska extending Matt Rule out. Matt Rule is hovering as a 500 coach, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy to me. I didn't get to react to that Friday because I was out.
Yeah.
Who are you negotiating against?
Against at this point.
I thought Penn State would hire him originally. The more I thought about it, you're kind of firing James Franklin to hire James Franklin. Yeah. If you went from him to Matt Rule, why don't you just wait until they call him to give him the extension if you really want to? Like, this is why we get $50 million buyouts, is because you extend guys like Matt Rule. But again, like, to your point, yes, like, that's more the issue of the coach that can't get over the hump, that's not sniffing the playoff, that just lost their, 80th straight game to a ranked opponent over the weekend?
It's 19 straight losses for him of, ranked opponents. It's a weird stat of him. What I'm getting at is you're extending a below-the-line coach. Other than, stability, and maybe if they pour more money into their NIL for him to be a better coach, but he's got a 5-star quarterback.
To your point, they're extending a guy based off of something he hasn't done yet.
Yeah.
Josh Heupel's already done it. To your point, yes, the Nebraska losing streak to ranked teams, Ramon, 29 games.
20, I was 10
They have lost 29 straight games to ranked opponents. Last time they beat a ranked team was 2016, which was the year they saw Tennessee in the Music City Bowl.
We got a great
they might
text
be back
from
in
my
this year.
friend, man. From Godfrey. It's awesome.
Okay.
I feel like I can read this one over air.
Go for it.
All right. Godfrey goes. Consensus amongst top agents is that Tennessee's head coach is overachieving in an incredibly difficult season. Consensus amongst top agents is that James Franklin created one of the most inexcusable explosions in the modern era.
Yeah, implosions.
100% of people calling for Josh Heupel's jobs are idiots.
Yeah. Right.
Thanks, Godfrey.
If you want Josh Heupel out, then get ready to become Auburn. Which we're going to talk about coming up. 615-737-1045. Plus, we had so many calls, we hadn't got to Vandy and Texas yet. This game was very different from Vandy's other loss. We'll talk about it next. Hey, it's Will Bowling telling you about my new obsession, Daisy French onion dip. Look, football season is snacking season. It's chips and dip season. Daisy French onion dip is so good, you can dip anything in it, and it's going to be delicious. Chips, wings, veggies, if you want to get a little bit of health on your game days as well. Daisy has come out with this delicious French onion dip and ranch dip that are a total game changer. As delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and spices. Check it out. You can buy some at a grocery store near you.
For many of us, it's happening. Your hair is thinning, your crown's disappearing. Maybe hair loss has you feeling your identity is lost altogether. Well, I've got good news. It's an incredible yet simple one-day treatment that starts growing your own natural hair the very next day. And it's guaranteed to grow for life. It's Advanced FUE from Advanced Hair. We've all seen the pills and lotions that come with the monthly subscriptions. They help retain what you have, but what if you want your own natural hair permanently in specific areas? From Advanced Hair state-of-the-art facilities to their world-class doctors. It's not maybe your hair will regrow. It's guaranteed that your new hair will grow. You decide how much, how thick, and where, and it's why Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, and I recommend it to everyone. For your free consultation, $250 off and 250 free hair grafts, call 629-348-HAIR. That's 629-348-HAIR. Or visit our website at advancedhair.com.
Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee, a 104.5 The Zone. Wrap it up. Hour number 3, talking college football as we head into 9 a.m. Auburn fired Hugh Freeze, and this show was on the right side of history about it. We'll talk about that in 15 minutes. Texas 34, Vanderbilt 31. Vandy was down 10-0 before Pat McAfee had put his shirt back on after College game day.
Who did he pick? Do you remember? Did you watch?
He picked Utah.
He did? Okay. No, I was talking about the Vandy. Never mind. Vandy, Texas.
Vandy, Texas? I don't remember. I think he picked Vandy.
He picked. Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Shout out to the Utes.
I was watching in the background as Arsenal beat Burnley 2-0 at Turf Moor, but that's a separate conversation. We're top of the league. It's fine. 10-0. Very quickly. Pavia turnover. Ryan Wingo catch and run. Vandy gave up 185 yards after the catch in the first half. Arch Manning put together a 300-yard passing performance. This was really different from the Alabama game, Ramon.
Yeah.
That game, Vandy was in and coughed it up in some critical moments. They were not in this game. Do not let the score fool you of this football game. This was a drubbing. They were down 24 going into the fourth. Texas got way too conservative. Vandy hit a couple of plays and all of a sudden made this look a lot closer than the score than it really was. Clark Lee said after the game, I don't think we played well. They did a good job of protection. They beat us. We just didn't win. In our program, to say that we weren't the hardest playing team on the field hurts me. That wasn't true in Tuscaloosa. It was true in Austin on Saturday.
Oh, that was interesting watching this game, man. They absolutely boxed in Diego Pavia more than I think Alabama did. They created chaos. They lit them up for 3.5 quarters, I feel like, more in this game.
Yes.
Than anything Vandy has looked like in any other game. Arch found it. Maybe the hit to the head is what corrected him to be more like the other Mannings that we know. He cooked, and his offensive line for the first time protected him. I was shocked because the Vandy style has been to get you to play in the mud, and Texas said, no, we will not. They protected Arch. They ran the football efficiently as they possibly could, and they made plays down the field, too. It was fascinating watching Vanderbilt's defense be like that. It's not something I had on my bingo card. I honestly thought Vandy would. I actually thought Vandy would win. The penalties were at the worst part. The fumble also. Diego's got an issue, it seems like, holding on to the ball at times when guys are around him. That's something he's got to get fixed. What I did notice, too, Diego's slick, boy. He is so slick. On that sideline where that player got the unsportsmanlike for pushing him to the ground, he didn't push him. Diego, smart enough, grabbed that guy by the hip and pulled him with him to the ground, knowing that he would get a driving into the ground penalty, and he did. That was probably about as heads up of a play that I've ever seen, but I'm with you on this one. And then, Chris, I know you was nice to us, but I just got to say on this one, Texas kicked your face in on this one. They blitzed you.
Vandy Chris in the YouTube chat has also admitted that, saying, no, you're right. This was different than the Alabama.
They kicked you in the face on this one, and Arch found out who he was in this game.
Vanderbilt did not run the ball well in this game. Did not run it well enough to win. Just 2.4 yards per carry, although they, without sacks, had 5.4 yards per carry.
Mm-hmm.
8 penalties for 70 yards. Again, the penalties continue to be an issue for Vanderbilt. It's something they've got to get corrected in order to win in Knoxville, which they're going to have to do now to make the college football playoff.
Oh.
I was really impressed with Texas's offensive line. I thought they protected Arch Manning the best that they have all season against a good Vandy defensive front. We've been upfront about that Vandy has a legitimate front seven. They look like an SEC team up front, which they have not for a lot of their existence as an SEC team. Texas finally protected Arch Manning, and look what happens when you do. Hey, look what happens when your receivers make some plays with the ball in their hands or get some separation, and Ryan Wingo takes one to the house at the beginning of the game. Arch Manning, 25 of 33, 328, 3 touchdowns. He finally got some help. Now, he's also got to do his end of the bargain, which he did, and he was accurate in this game, but he finally got a little bit of help. And Texas, I don't know, Texas still just kind of hanging around. They're sitting there with probably the best on-paper roster in the conference. A lot of 5 stars. They get A&M at home. They still got to play Georgia in Athens. But they go to Georgia, they host a terrible Arkansas team, and they host A&M on the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
I was going to say, as far as coaches and rosters and staffs, and NIL, like Sarkisian and the expectations that he had this year. You want to speak about fan bases probably being upset now.
Right.
To give Sarkisian and Texas credit, they're getting hotter towards the end, which makes you more happy about
Remains
it.
to be seen if they can figure it out. You're right.
This isn't the season that Sarkisian was expected to have, the way it's unfolded.
They have not gotten close to their expectations. Not close.
That's why we were texting a second ago. Like, that's what's so fascinating about college football. We're so emotional. I think it's because we got to open up our pocketbooks now to help fund NIL, right? And ADs are asking a lot.
Part of it.
They are. Teams are asking a lot. They're raising prices of all of this. But the way we discuss the competition of like college football, we act as if there are like 2 or 3 national champions a year. There's only one.
There's more access to the playoff and to the elite big kids table, which has given more teams national title expectations than ever before.
But not everybody is a national. Even part like 1 through 12 that get in, it's about 8 that really don't have a strong chance.
A shot. Yeah, like how many teams this year have a legitimate shot to win a national championship? It's more than in past seasons, but it's still no more than 10, maybe.
Do we consider Texas Tech?
Do you want to go through it real quick?
Oh, we can do it. Let me pull up my top 25.
In the SEC, national title contenders are Alabama, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Georgia. I'm gonna still throw Georgia in there, although I don't think Georgia is going to win the national championship. I've seen them pull it out of their butt late in the season so many times.
Yep.
In the Big Ten, Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana. For sure.
That's how many? That's 8.
That's
you got 7
teams.
You got 7.
7 teams.
Big 12.
In the Big 12,
I don't know what Texas A&M. Texas Tech.
BYU's the undefeated team.
BYU.
I don't think.
When you mention BYU, do you believe in BYU?
I don't think there are any Big 12 teams that are national title contenders. Notre Dame. ACC. Miami lost again.
Haynes King lost.
And Georgia Tech lost.
I
think there are 7 teams that can win the national title.
I think it's Virginia's to lose.
All of them are in the SEC and Big Ten. 7 teams that can win a national title this year.
So, when you're talking about firing somebody, what are you getting? And right now, the jobs are going to be oversaturated.
Yeah.
You're going to pull somebody that's going to end up being, respectfully, I'll say this, you're going to get a Derek Dooley. Somebody's going to get a Butch Jones.
Yeah, someone's going to be forced to really scrape the bottom of the barrel or just take a coordinator that's never done the job before or even gotten close to doing the job before. Like, what is Will Stein as a coach? I don't know. We're probably going to find out.
So
Tosh Lapoy.
Yeah, who?
The Oregon defensive coordinator.
Okay.
Former Bama assistant.
A comment says, your team isn't a contender, but it's enjoy the fun ride that it is.
Yeah. Coming up, Auburn fired Hugh Freeze. We were soothsayers. Not to brag, but we saw this coming. Plus, we'll get to Gator Mike who wants to talk about Florida, Georgia.
Who?
The cocktail party, as it should only be known as, coming up next.
Work. It's what we do. Part of who we are. There is joy in work. And no matter what size your business is, the dedicated commercial team at Two Rivers Ford will find the work trucks and vans that keep your business moving. And Two Rivers is the only dealer that offers a 90-day free fleet management program that can help you save money on every single mile. The Commercial Vehicle Center at Two Rivers Ford. We work for you.
9:01, good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The shorthanded Titans fall short again at Nissan Stadium Sunday, losing to the Chargers 27-20, and also fall to 1-8 on the year. The Titans failed to score an offensive touchdown, but did manage touchdowns on a Cody Barton pick six on the Chargers' second play of the game, and a Chimere Dike 67-yard punt return for a touchdown, both in the first quarter. The Titans now head into the bye week, and the NFL trade deadline is tomorrow. Speaking of trades and the deadline, an NFL news this morning, the Dolphins are trading edge rusher Jalen Phillips to the Eagles in exchange for a 2026 third-round draft pick. Miami, they are paying a portion of Phillips' salary to get that third-round pick. In college football over the weekend, Tennessee turned the ball over 3 times and take their third loss of the year to Oklahoma in Knoxville, 33-27. The Vols dropped to number 23 in the AP poll. Vanderbilt with their second loss of the season, this one to Texas, 34-31 Saturday. Vandy drops to number 15, and the first college football playoff rankings will come out tomorrow. Nashville Soccer Club, after a 2-1 win Saturday night in Geodis Park in Nashville over Inter Miami, forces a Game 3 in the first round of the MLS Cup playoffs. Sam Surridge with a goal. The series heads back to Miami this Saturday with a winner. We'll move on to round 2. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 4 of your Monday morning, Ramon and Will. As always, we are brewed by Scooters Coffee, locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. There are a lot of rumors flying around and reports and analysis about who the Titans could trade tomorrow on the NFL trade deadline. We're going to unpack all of it for you coming up in 15 minutes. What is real, what appears to be maybe not real, what should happen or what really shouldn't happen, who should or shouldn't be moved. We'll dive into all of it coming up in 15 minutes. Going to talk about Auburn firing Hugh Freeze, and we're going to make sure we stretch before we pat ourselves in the back. We don't want to pull anything. Would hate to do that, Ramon. But first, we go to Gator Mike, who's been waiting patiently to talk about the cocktail party. What's up, Gator Mike?
Yeah, the awful officiating in the cocktail party. Let's say that first, Will. But first, Will, a shout out to my Gator cross country team that you were a part of, right?
I was there announcing their SEC championship. Yes, I was.
Correct. Yeah, want to give them a shout out. That's good. Also, the defending national champions start their back-to-back tour tonight against Arizona, so I had to get that out there first. The cocktail party. I mean, we really couldn't have played a better game. DJ Lagway still having some footwork issues and stuff like that. But those 2 overturned calls really killed us in the momentum in that game. But I'm like you, Kirby Smart, they have pulled so many games out of their rear end this year. I just don't see them going far in the playoffs with that. And then Ramon, after the Tennessee game, I flipped on a competitor Knoxville app, let's say, to listen to their after-game call-in show, and the people are ridiculous. Like you all said, wanting Josh Heupel fired or on a hot seat is ridiculous to me. Like these schools now, it's like win now or you're gone, right? Like it's so insane to me. Like people dogging him for that 4th down call, which I thought was a great call. I mean, the ball hit the dude in the face mask. It's more on the player than the scripted call. I thought that was a great call on that 4th down call that they unfortunately didn't convert. But, yeah, it's just crazy train. Crazy.
Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Good to hear from you as always.
All right, take care, folks.
All right. I agree with everything you said until the last part. I hated that call. I know the guy was wide open. Jack Van Dorslayer's the guy we're talking about. Tennessee on its mid-4th quarter possession on 4th and 1. Why are you using timeout to begin with when you know you're chasing the game down 2 scores? The using a timeout there, Josh Heupel, is malpractice, and he needs a game management guy in his ear to make some of these game management decisions for him, Ramon, because Josh Heupel is struggling with clock management this season over and over again. he was wide open, but don't have to rely on a wide open player to catch it who's not been targeted all game in order to move the chains. He hadn't caught a pass all game. I got so many tweets about this, Ramon, of like, well, but it was wide open. If he'd caught it, then you'd be saying, yeah, but he didn't, and you took the risk of him having to catch it for it to work. That's the problem. That's my whole point. I'm glad you're on the same side as this as me. Yes. Yes. Nathan Robinson, Greenbrier's finest. Yes. Awful.
And I can't agree with it. I look and I say, where's Ethan Davis?
Yes.
I also say, where's Hassan Brain?
Or Miles Kitzelman. Your sixth-year senior.
That's where, to me, like I said, the evaluation of what this offense is needs somebody outside of the building to say, this is where you're going to take the next step.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Tug of Jack Van Dorslayer's shoulder that kind of threw his eyes off, right? And threw his steps off too. I give him that. But if you put a player who's used to that situation being there, then maybe he understands that the football is going to be. Again, I would say this too. I think Joey was very skittish in his delivery the entire game. I think that first hit where he got his back knocked off was he felt that the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was not a good game for Joey Eckler.
No, it wasn't.
It was not. Auburn fired Hugh Freeze. And I'll be honest with you, I thought that this was going to be one of the few teams that were going to need to hold on to their coach because of what the market looks like. Losing to Kentucky at home loses you the ability to continue coaching a team that was supposed to be pretty good. That's not a terrible roster. They just got quarterback really wrong with Jackson Arnold, and now all of a sudden they're scrambling. 10-3, the Auburn Tigers lose to Kentucky at home over the weekend. Ramon, we were never as in on Hugh Freeze as many other people were we?
Nope. I had no idea why the love was there.
He would go beat Saban at Ole Miss. He would then also turn around and lose to Memphis. And that's not an insane world beater Memphis team. Or he'd lose to a really bad Arkansas program. Like, the high points were always pretty good with Hugh Freeze, but the low points have always been this. This is who Hugh Freeze is. He's going to make excuses for decisions that he made. And Ramon, I go back to SEC Media Days when Hugh Freeze said that there were playoff expectations on Auburn this year.
Sure did.
Hugh, buddy, you are a victim of your own words and of your own expectations because this is year 3. You were 15-19, 6-16 in conference play. When you set playoff expectations to lose at home to Kentucky, you are given a lot of Yellowwood money to never coach at Auburn University ever again.
No, we got Mark and Tony on hold here too. I just want to say this, and I'm not sure what side they are on, but this entire regime that Hugh Freeze has been on also, the way I picked it up on social media and just hearing from the fan base, like Auburn fans, y'all asked for this too. Y'all wanted this to happen, so much so that you gold-booted Brian Harsin out of Auburn, who I don't think, whether he was a good coach or not, I don't think he had a fair shake at it. When it comes down to his ability to build something, it happened so fast and so disrespectful on how you got him out that this was bound to happen with Hugh Freeze. He was supposed to come in and be the knight in shining armor, and it turned into, I had his record pulled up. It turned into a 4-5 season this year.
15-19.
15-19 overall.
Yeah.
And losing to Kentucky in a low scoring game. Isn't Hughes like specialty, like offense also?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they've got like 3 offensive coordinators who called different plays on different. Yeah, I know.
And this is the same guy. You speak about the summertime conversation, but Hugh also came out and said, I don't want to make my practice hard for my quarterback. Let me close my mouth on that one.
Nothing you said was wrong.
I'm going to make it easy for my – you know what easy got you? Out the door.
A loss to Kentucky 10-3 at home.
I don't know
under the lights.
Does he get another big job? I don't think – yeah. See, that's what happens in these situations.
No. Hugh Freeze might get one of these G5 jobs that opens up because there's so many Power 4 openings. Names for Auburn. I mean, John Summerall, Godfrey has said you couldn't build a more Auburn coach than John Summerall. John Summerall played at Kentucky, coached at Ole Miss. He's got the SEC assistant stamp. He's got the G5 coaching at a high level stamp at Tulane, who lost to UTSA over the weekend. But still, like, he's got Tulane humming pretty good. Do you go young G5 head coach? Do you go, I mean, you're not going to probably do the high floor P4 guy again, because that's kind of what you got, what you thought you were getting in Hugh Freeze. Do you take a risk on an Alex Golish? Man, Auburn is in the second tier of job openings behind the big three, I think, that are open this offseason. Are LSU 1, Penn State 2, Florida 3. Those are the job openings. To me, if I'm ranking the top 3 jobs open, it's those 3, and then Auburn's probably a step below that, 4th.
Yeah, most definitely. Who you got? You got LSU, Penn State, Florida?
Yeah, that's what I just said that. LSU 1, Penn State 2, Florida 3 is how I'd rank the job openings. And I'd put Auburn 4th. Are you going to get the 4th best candidate then? All of a sudden, you're dipping deeper past the... And again, like, are the top candidates even in the market to leave their current places? Because, boy, these early firings are getting a lot of coaches raises sooner than Jimmy Sexton is typically giving out raises.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Arkansas in this conversation. I forgot about them at this point.
Commenter on YouTube, Selly, says Summerall needs to replace Stoops. No, but Kentucky's not a good enough job for John Summerall. I mean, maybe he views it differently because he played there, but you're the second biggest show in town to the basketball team that's about to open up the season. They're not. And are they really paying Mark Stoops all that money within 10 days to not coach there anymore? They need Mark Stoops to go take another job.
Yeah, they do.
In order to get rid of Mark Stoops. They don't. And again, then if you fire Mark Stoops, do you have John Summerall money? I don't think
it's going to cost.
Never say never. I would be shocked if John Summerall is coaching at Kentucky in 2026. Shocked.
But you know the issue with these firings and the hirings too that have to happen too is you also got to give that coaching staff that money unless you go into an unknown guy, as you just said. But immediately you fire a coach because you want change to happen soon. So where's the money also for your team and for the porter and for that coach to also start off being successful? Because if the new coach comes in and go 4-8, right, 6-6, that's still going to have an upset fan base. You're going to find yourself more into, and the way these teams are firing people now, you're going to find yourself more into the Tennessee Phillip Fulmer era of trying to find the next guy and then get the next guy and get the next guy. The only issue that you have right now, the biggest issue that you have now is you also have to spend, I feel like, 2 times or 3 times more money.
Yeah.
Because you got to be proven right in your new hires, too. And also LSU needs a new AD.
Yeah, and a new president.
And a new president?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's why the governor is speaking on behalf of people that don't currently have jobs. Mark hits us up on Facebook Live and says, crazy to say Penn State is a better job than Florida. Why?
It's more prime right now.
Florida's about to hire their 5th coach since 2011. Why? I'd love to hear the answer of why Florida's a better job than Penn State. Penn State has an easier route to the playoff, less crowded region to recruit in. You don't have other teams in Pennsylvania that are close to the level of what Miami is, what Florida State is, what USF is, what a lot of these other teams are as recruiting competition.
You're not running from it, but here's what I would tell you how Penn State opens up next year. You want to be competitive.
Go.
Marshall, Temple, Buffalo, Maryland, Michigan, Northwestern, Minnesota, Purdue, Rutgers, USC, Wisconsin, and Washington.
Yeah, Penn State's a better job.
If you're trying to jump out and be fresh and start quickly,
right,
you go to Penn State.
100%.
Florida's schedule next year. Now, I have to find that one.
Florida's got another tough one again. But, I mean, again, too, the point is that you have an easier path to the playoff at Penn State, and you have just as many resources, the same good facilities. You've got money. They just gave James Franklin, the guy that just won the national title as defensive coordinator, and a guy in Andy Kotelnicki who came over as one of the stud offensive coordinators in all of college football. Like, that roster was built. James Franklin had every resource he needed to win a national title, and he didn't. Florida has not had every resource you need to win a national title for Billy Napier.
You got to think there's 9 SEC games you got to play starting next year. I got the schedule for 2026.
Hit me.
Florida Atlantic, Campbell. Then you got Georgia, Florida State, at Auburn, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Vandy, at Kentucky, at Missouri, at Texas.
Yeah. It's tough.
Don't miss.
That's tough. Mark writes back and says, when is the last title at Penn State? Okay, but what are those titles at Florida doing for you now? History is just one feather in your cap. Urban Meyer winning you a national title does nothing for you today because there's been 4 head coaches who have coached since him who can't get you back to that level. So that doesn't do anything for you anymore. What can you do for me right now? Penn State has comparable or better facilities, and they have less competition for recruits in their area of the country and an easier pathway to the playoff. I think it's that simple.
Hey, BJ, this ain't got nothing to do with UT in this one, okay? This is what I want to tell you. This is between people who fired their coaches already.
What happened?
Somebody was like, let me guess, Tennessee's a better job than Florida or Penn State. It's like, no, that ain't even the conversation.
Tennessee's not a better job than Florida. No one ever said that. You want me to spell it out really simply for you? Florida is a better job than Tennessee. See, that was easy. We can still be objective about this. Like, what are we... Y'all, we say enough things that are incorrect that you don't have to put... things we didn't say in our mouths that are also incorrect.
This is weird energy.
Coming up. Hey, well, let's just move on. Trade deadline discussion for the Tennessee Titans is next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Man, nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency at all. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you if it gets fixed right, or somebody just trying to sell you something you don't need. When you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly. And the price you tell is the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years and are family-owned and operated. And here's the thing. Their motto is, happy you'll bill the service for us exactly how they feel. They trust their service so much because all of their techs are professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background and drug screened, too. When they're on their way, you receive a photo of that tech and track them in real time so you're not sitting around wasting your time. To learn more about Hiller, to book with them like I do, simply visit their website at happyhiller.com.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee and streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV. Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, where you can leave your comments. The 104.5 The Zone YouTube channel is live, active. It is very lively this morning, Ramon Foster, as it always is, especially on Mondays.
This verbal sparring is what we're doing here, man. Like, this is sports talk. If you can't sit under the blender or sit under the heat lamp, man, and get cooked every once in a while, you ain't have good friends in your life when it comes down to sports talk. You got to get mad about this from time to time. If you can't be in a position like, all right, well, forget your point then anyway. Like, you don't deserve to be in this world, man. That's what I'm telling you.
We have a commenter telling me I am too matter-of-fact on my opinions, and he will no longer be listening. Okay.
Verbal sparring is all sports is. Sports talk. Sharpen yourself up a little bit.
Okay. Yep.
Ooh.
You can just say you disagree. Look, I'm never gonna say that my opinion is 100% right, but I'm also not gonna say something and not stand on it if I believe it. So yeah, you can make the argument that Florida's a better job than Penn State. There are very legitimate arguments against the ones that I just made, but
you made a point about, I think you said it on break, about like finding James Franklin's replacement.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy.
Andy Staples wrote a good piece at on3.com to that point about ranking every job. He has Florida as a better job than Penn State because he says it will be easier to be better than what Billy Napier does right away than for Penn State to immediately upgrade on James Franklin. And I think that's a good rebuttal.
That's a great rebuttal.
Again, I will admit when there are other points to be made other than mine, but come on. To Devontae in the F&M Bank chat, we can't get our feelings hurt just because you disagree with my ranking of jobs in college football and say you're not going to listen anymore. Like, sports talk isn't for you if that's all it takes for you to not listen anymore.
Also, I just want to point out real quick because it's kind of chesty. And you know what? If I was bad for such a long time, I'd probably be chesty too if there was my moment. I'm living in my win era, okay, as some like to say. But, like, we're going to play this last game of the season against Vanderbilt, and it's going to mean a lot to both squads, most definitely. But the overall record is 81, 32, and 5. It's going to take 49 years for that record to even up of consecutive wins for it to be an even matchup.
Sounds like you're getting ready for our week of Thanksgiving conversation.
And that's just kind of where I am because we get it a lot. And as of late, and like I said, to the victor goes the spoils, and when you hot, you do what you want when you're popping. I just want to throw that out real quick before we go further.
There are lots of reports out there about the Tennessee Titans and the NFL trade deadline and what could happen before 3 p.m. tomorrow. Some of them contradict others, but however you look at it, Ramon, there are a lot of rumors. There is a lot of discussion out there. Chargers 27, Titans 20 yesterday, but off the field, it feels like the conversation in the trade market is just as hot, just as loud. So let's dive into everything that we know and all the reporting. Mike Florio after the game writes that it's currently doubtful the Titans will trade Jeffrey Simmons. It is less doubtful they will trade wide receiver Calvin Ridley. Mike Florio at ProFootballTalk.com reports that per a league source, the Titans are, quote, trying to do a deal for Ridley. Ridley last played in week 6, has a hamstring injury under contract through 2027. Teron Davenport tweets out after the game, the Titans are not shopping Calvin Ridley, as some reports are saying. Confirmed with multiple team sources, that is not the case. They have, however, received calls about Ridley and other players. What's your take, Ramon, on what we know, those two reports being out there, and if a Calvin Ridley trade makes sense?
I trust TD's reporting more than anything as he's local and in the mix when it comes down to this team.
Agreed.
I'll say that first. My second part of this would be sold. Get them out of here is the way I would almost look at it, too. It's almost like a youth movement in general anyway. If somebody wants Calvin Ridley and they're going to take his salary and you be off the books for the rest of the season, too, now it depends on how you feel about Cam. But if you're really going to strip this thing down and the production that you've gotten from Calvin Ridley this year anyway, stop lying to me is the way I look at it. If somebody wants him, let him go. What is this? What's the record right now? 1-8? You got 9 games left on the season? You got 8 games left on the season? Go. If the value is good, if you're giving me a 3 for Calvin Ridley right now, Elevate Restrepo at this point.
I don't think a 3 is realistic.
I know. He's 30 plus. What did the Edge from Miami get?
Jalen Phillips.
Jalen Phillips. He got a 3. Man, if you package me up, you give me a sweet package, I'm taking it.
Sure, but what is that? What is a realistic package for Calvin Ridley?
A 3.
I don't think so.
A 3 is what I would have to have.
Miami also
you're
had
not
to
going to deal him.
They had to pay to get that 3rd as well.
That's the other thing, right?
Yeah, they're paying a portion of Jalen Phillips' salary to get that 3. Otherwise, it probably would have been more like a 4 or 5.
I pay a portion.
So Ian Rappaport did write about this at NFL.com, saying Calvin Ridley has $23 million due this year, most of which comes in his base salary. Says there are ways to handle a big salary, though, and trades can always happen if both sides want to do a deal. You're probably going to have to pay for additional draft compensation. Are you willing to pay Calvin Ridley a lot of money to not play here in order to maybe get a 4 instead of a 5 or a 5 instead of a 6? I think for Calvin Ridley, you're getting a 5th-round pick. I think that's the world you live in there, at best. I think you're going to have to pay to get that 5th-round pick.
If it's a 5, I ain't doing it. I gotta be. This is where, to me, Mark Burgons and Chad Brinker have to be hard. They got to be Howie Roseman on this one. They got to go rob somebody without a ski mask on this one. I would pay this considering what the Titans have as far as money next year. If they're trying to build through the draft, the roster's going to be relatively cheap anyhow. And the way I'm viewing money spent and on the books, I'd much rather get a draft pick for a guy that I'm not utilizing anyway, that's not going to be a part of my future now. And I would be very aggressive in trying to say, all right, well, bet I'll pay a quarter of the rest of his salary to get that 3 from somebody, especially if it's somebody that feel like they need a weapon. Kansas City, Buffalo, heck, whoever at this point. Tampa, yes, I need a 3. If it's not a 3, I don't want it.
Then he's going to be here.
All right, well, he here. That's kind of the way I view that one. I got to get a 3 for Calvin.
Do you remember what the DeAndre Hopkins trade was?
A 6?
A conditional 5th, which would become a 4th due to certain thresholds being met, which wasn't it Kansas City winning the Super Bowl, then it becomes a 4th?
That or snaps played. And I think they limited his snaps in order to get under that threshold.
I'm unrealistic in this approach. I'll be 100% honest with you on
I
this
think 3rd-round pick for Calvin is unrealistic.
Only reason I say this, they need a win. I know getting as many draft picks as you possibly can is a part of this, but at some point, you got to give me some 2s and some 3s in that too. I can't just get these 6s and 7s. And that's the only reason I'm saying, at some point, I'm not saying that Borgonzi and Brinker need to be foolish, but the aggressiveness of how they're trying to restart this rebuild needs to be seen, I think, for the optics. That's one thing about this team, if you care about that. The optics just haven't been, I guess, hopeful enough either. I'm very unrealistic in this approach of getting a 3 for Calvin. But I got to get something that feels like a win for this team if I'm those 2 dudes.
It feels to me like Mike Florio's information is coming from other general managers and other teams based off of the Titans' willingness to listen to offers on Ridley. That's what I think Mike Florio is reporting here, saying the Titans are trying to do a deal for Ridley. To me, all that means, and it lines up with what Tehran's reporting as well, that they're not shopping him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Titans are picking up the phone saying, hey, you want Calvin Ridley? I just think they're willing to have a conversation when they do get calls about Calvin Ridley specifically. I think Mike Florio is taking a little bit too far of a leap there. Just my opinion.
I rolled that.
Mike's a good reporter. Mike knows his stuff. I think that there's truth to what Tehran and Mike are both saying, and I think it gives the same conclusion that the Titans are certainly willing and having conversations when the phone is picked up. Ian Rappaport over the weekend also says the Titans have been a frequent recipient of trade calls, to that same point, saying most of the focus on defenders such as Arden Key, Draymond Jones, and T'Vondre Sweat. Ramon, we talked about this earlier in the season, that under a new regime, players that were drafted by the previous general manager, or general managers plural, because there are still John Robinson picks who are here, have to go the extra mile to prove themselves. What was your reaction over the weekend seeing T'Vondre Sweat brought up in trade talks?
Business as usual. Considering how rocky this year has gone for him, how out he's been more than he has been in, I almost feel like I'm not sure if he's the type that they want. You look at the guys that they play and how they, went through free agency. They probably want a more slender, explosive defender instead of a hole plugger the way he is. Now, it may work if you got Jeffrey Simmons out there, but I almost feel like some of his time missed was forced too. Like, Here he is in a situation where I feel like I don't think he or they were in a hurry to get back out there. That's my own personal opinion and seeing how this is kind of unfolded. But I don't think he's their type.
How so?
Think about what they asked everybody this offseason. They asked every single player, and Jeffrey led the charge on this one, to drop weight, be leaner, be quicker, be faster, be explosive. Look at the weight that JC lost. Look at how Peters restructured his body. Think about what Jeff did to himself, the defensive ends that they went after. They want a leaner, cut, explosive team, and I don't think Tavondre fits that. And I'm not saying that's bad for him. Mm-hmm. I just look at him more of an AFC North player, right? I look at him as, okay, he can go to Tampa and play with Vita Vea in that tone, because they did the exact same thing with the kid from Florida. They go after those types. I just don't think he's personal. Yeah, Desmond Watson. I personally don't think he's a Mike Borgonzi type, if I could be honest. Look at Chris Jones, right?
Look at Jeffrey Simmons.
Look at Jeffrey Simmons.
You're right.
Look at the D tackles that Kansas City has on their roster. They're not big guys. They may be bigger, but they're quick and explosive. And I don't see quick and explosive out of Tavondre, respectfully.
Is that too narrow of a type? Is that a problem with the Titans' type, or is that a problem with Tavondre Sweat? Is their type of player, quote unquote, too narrow for you, Ramon?
No, I don't think it's too narrow.
I don't think so either.
I just look at this and just say, you look at the durability of the player that they're asking to do what they want in this defense moving forward. And here's the other part of it too. There's going to be potentially a new DC here in general too. But I'm getting the impression that this GM group that they have with Mike Borgonzi and Chad Brinker are going to want to craft this team.
Yeah.
Not the coaches, and how they want it to look.
Mm-hmm. Through 9 weeks, Tavondre Sweat has played in 4 games and has 2 sacks, 1 quarterback hit, 3 tackles for loss. He has played essentially 1 quarter with Jeffrey Simmons. The whole defense is built around Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat wrecking shop through the middle of the pocket, and in the good things that creates. Unfortunately, Ramon, we have seen those two played together very, very, very little.
Small amount, Will.
I'm a little torn on this one because I do hate that and do think that I'd like to see those two play more together to really give Tavondre a fair shot and a fair shake. But ultimately, you are what you put on the field, and you are what you put on the stat sheet. And in order to put things on the stat sheet, Ramon, you have to be on the field.
Yeah, man.
Tavondre was unavailable for most of training camp. He's only played 4 games this year. To your point, you are right that he is not the type, quote unquote, on paper, that this organization under Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi's leadership wants. I think the biggest problem is that you should have taken the trade the Rams offered you, which would have given you a second-round pick in last year's draft, for the pick that you took Tavondre Sweat with. And I said that the week after that was made, that I would have rather made that trade than take Tavondre Sweat.
Mm-hmm.
But here you are with Tavondre Sweat. It's just such a tough position to be in because you're more likely to make it work with someone who's not, quote unquote, your type. If you had more valuable assets you could trade at this point of the season to get draft capital back. But when you are so thin, Ramon, with guys that you can get something for to rebuild this roster in the way that you want to, you are forced to maybe give up on projects sooner than you would like to in a perfect scenario. This is not a perfect scenario. So considering the fact that your best trade piece might be a second-round player, you don't have the luxury of giving up a guy on a 1-year rental or a wide receiver that could help teams that need wideout help. Like, Tavondre Sweat's going to get you more back than Calvin Ridley will. Because I think Tavondre Sweat really could maybe get you a 3rd-round pick. Probably more likely to be a 4th. Mm-hmm. But I think he could get you back a 3rd-round pick. Mm-hmm. We heard a lot of teams say that Tavondre Sweat wasn't even on their draft board. That reporting was out there.
That's true.
Dane Brugler said it. Whatever you believe in that, whether you believe that or not, The fact that that's out there, Ramon, is going to affect his market. It's a tough position to be in. I know we're paid to give you guys answers, and sometimes I don't know if there really is a clear one. This is one of those situations. I'm not in that building. I'm not in the meeting rooms. I don't see how T'Vondre Sweat interacts with the coaches, with his teammates behind closed doors. All I can tell you is when he's out there and available for us to talk to, I think he says a lot of the right things.
No doubt.
I think he represented himself really well yesterday when asked about it and said, man, that's above my pay grade. I can't control that. I think it's frustrating that he's not been on the field more. But I don't have a clear answer for you because I don't have all the info. And I'm never going to give you guys a clear answer on what to do with the player when I don't have the full info on a player and what the overall dynamic is. That's not fair to the player. That's not fair to the organization. It's not fair to you all for me to give you an answer on something that I don't know of. I'll just say we'll see, and don't be surprised with anything when it comes to T'Vondre and some of the other trade targets.
Are you shocked if Draymond Jones or Chig go today? Tomorrow.
The only player I'd be shocked to be traded is anyone in the rookie class and Jeffrey Simmons. Everyone else, we'll see. Everyone else. If you are a rookie or Jeffrey Simmons, you're not moving. Anybody else, I think, I'm not going to be shocked if that notification hits. We'll go to your phone calls to wrap up the show. Tony and Dan, the final two calls are next.
One of the largest sports books east of the Mississippi, Circa Sports Kentucky, is now open. Catch all your favorite games on an 80-foot screen with stadium-style seating and live VSiN broadcast daily. Circa Sports, now open at the Mint Gaming Hall, Kentucky Downs.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Ramona and I having deep philosophical special teams discussions in the break. Maybe we'll have time for that at the end.
Maybe.
Titans made one mistake yesterday in special teams. Despite a good performance that I'm just a nerd about, it's not really that big of a deal. It didn't impact the game, but it's something that I'm a little nerdy about that got tweeted at me. We'll do that in a minute if we have time. Let's go to Tony in Alabama. What's up, Tony?
Morning, Tony.
Hey, morning, gents. Hey, you guys were talking about Hugh Freeze earlier. So, first of all, come on, you Gunners.
Yeah! Woo!
But I'm true house divided down here. I'm Alabama. Alabama's off this weekend, but I'm an Auburn season ticket holder because my daughter's up there and my wife's an Auburn grad. So we went to the game, and the Fire Hugh Freeze chant started early. The boos started early. I mean, it was brutal. If you've ever been to a night game at Auburn, it's pretty electric.
It is.
It is a good atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And they wasted it. Like the predictableness, the high school nature of that offense, it's so bad. They made Kentucky's offense look dynamic, which is saying something. But it was brutal. We left in the third quarter, and that's really the reason I was calling. So at no point did I think Auburn was going to come back and win that game. Even when sometimes you feel bad if you got to leave a game early. Didn't feel bad at all.
Totally.
But turned on my app and listened to the Vols broadcast because I wanted to hear Mike Keith. Growing up as a Titans fan in Nashville, Mike's what we had. He is so good. He's so smooth. And Ramon, you fit right in there, perfect, man. I just wanted to give you a compliment about how good that Vols broadcast is. And I hate to say this, my Alabama radio network ever since Eli's gone, it's not good. But you guys, not a Vols fan by any stretch, but that was a great broadcast. Mike Keith and Ramon, you guys did a fabulous job.
Awesome.
It was really well done.
Good stuff. Thank you, Tony. Appreciate the call.
Thanks, Tony. Yeah, that was
good
cool.
word.
It was. It's hard for me to take compliments on that. I'm just up there having a good time with Mike.
You guys are crushing it.
I was telling you,
It sounds awesome.
My flyover is killing it right now.
You've got like 200,000 views on social media because you brought a toy plane to do a flyover. Because obviously there are no flyovers still for political reasons. Dan is in Lewisburg. Final call on the Titans this morning. Hey, Dan.
Morning, Dan.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all doing?
We're great.
Hey, guys, want to tell you, first off, listen to your show every day. Listen to y'all on the weekends. Great job. Want to ask you this. I know the Titans have players they say they may not trade, but on the flip side of that, are there any players that we might see on a short list that maybe the Titans are actively or calling about to maybe acquire?
Thank you. Appreciate the call, Dan. I don't think so. You might get a situation like with Ernest Jones and Jerome Baker last year to where if you wanted to do a deal and you wanted a player back in return as a part of the deal you're already doing, maybe. But you can't give up draft capital to do it. That's the thing right now, Dan, is the Titans want more young, controllable rookies and draft picks. And they are not in the position to give up
rookies.
Draft capital.
Yeah, not controllable. Moldable.
Yeah, like controllable contracts.
Yeah. Contracts. Okay.
Yeah. Controllable contracts that you want. And, that's fair. Yeah. And so you could maybe see someone come back because if you can only do a pick swap, maybe you say, hey, instead of giving us a 6, give us a 7, but also give us a replacement level player that could try out to be a starter in the future.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be calling too many people trying to make too much happen.
Yep.
There's so much they got to fix here.
So I'll give credit where credit's due. I'm going to go next level special teams talk for a minute, but just bear with me. We saved it for the last minute of the show. Hunter tweeted at us. Said, this is another example of the Titans coaching staff not knowing the rules. These Pittsburgh Steelers did something yesterday that the Titans should have done. So, here we go. The Titans, when they scored their second touchdown, had a 15-yard penalty against L.A. on the extra point. That gave the Titans a midfield kick. Now, we were talking about this at the break. Normally, you could maybe do a sky kick, force the returner to have to return it, and give your guys more time to get downfield. But your guys have to set up and can't move until it's caught.
I thought about
So there's no benefit for a sky kick in that moment when you're kicking at midfield because there's no advantage. Your guys don't have any additional time. They have to wait till it's caught. Yep. So you have really one option. Kick the ball out of bounds. A free kick out of bounds means that the ball is placed 25 yards from where it was kicked. That's different if you're kicking it 15 yards forward. So the Pittsburgh Steelers did this yesterday up 24-7. They had a kick from midfield after a 15-yard penalty that was assessed on the kickoff. They kicked it out of bounds, which normally would give the ball to you on the 40, but you kick from the 50, so the offense sets up at their own 25.
Danny Smith.
The Titans kicked it through the back of the end zone, which gave the ball to the Chargers on the 35, because if you kick the ball into the end zone, the offense gets the ball on the 35-yard line. Now, I guarantee you the owners are going to amend this this offseason now that Danny Smith came up with it for the Steelers. Yeah. I'm surprised the Titans didn't do it because of how good Bones Fossil is at knowing the rules on things like this, but that is a mistake the Titans made. They should have kicked it out of bounds to give the Chargers the ball at their own 25-yard line.
I agree.
And that's your special teams minute. I'm apologizing to those of you who are like, I don't care. But also some of you are probably like, that was interesting. And to those 5 of you, I thank you.
You do care.
Back at it tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. With lots to discuss on NFL trade deadline day.
I got a couple words for him, Will. Titans fans, it will get better. I don't know when, but it will. But remember, Twitter figures and your mic always hot.